Good evening, football fans. You are looking live at the Palace on the Plains J. Ferg Field at Buffalo Stadium, where tonight West Texas A&M will host the number 5 ranked team in the country, the Colorado School of Mines, the Orediggers. I'm Lucas Kinsey alongside my broadcast partner, Bryce Sheets. Thank you for joining us here for the broadcast tonight. And on September 9th, Bryce, on 2017, right? You remember that date?
I do.
Just 2 miles south from where we are sitting right now, we broadcasted a West Texas A&M upset win over a top 10 ranked team from the state of Colorado. It was 24-21. It was a Buffs win over number 7 ranked Colorado State Pueblo at that time.
Right.
Well, that was Hunter Hughes' first season as head coach and his first signature win in Canyon. So we fast forward to tonight, 2021, and Hughes welcomes another familiar opponent from his old days in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. It'll be another tough task here tonight for the Buffaloes. WT 1-1, actually 2-1 record now, and the Orediggers are 3-0.
Right.
Orediggers have outscored their first 3 opponents by an average of 50-8. And so you look at Mines head coach Greg Brandon and what he has been able to do, and Orediggers fans believe this may be one of the best teams that he's had.
Well, they really do. And the thing that sticks out a little bit is some of their statistics nationally. So they have 49.7 points per ball games, number 2 in the country. They're 5th, only allowing 180 yards per contest defensively. So they're obviously stopping teams so far this season. And then they're 8th in scoring defense, only allowing, as you talked about, those 8 points per ball game. Yeah. And so on paper, statistically, they look fantastic. And then watching them warm up, they look that way as well. But this could be their biggest contest of the year so far. As I said, the Buffs, or I should say the Orediggers, are number 2 in the country as far as scoring offense is concerned. The Buffs are number 4. So we're right there with them on the offense.
Well, West Texas A&M knows how big this game is tonight. The Buffs got back on track last Saturday at home with a 42-14 win against Western New Mexico. But can they pull off a huge upset against the number 5 ranked team in the nation? We'll find out soon enough. WT head coach Hunter Hughes, he'll talk about the matchup after we take a quick timeout. You're watching the pregame show here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is not another story. This is not another drill. I refuse to be another number now. I'll never stay. This is not another story. This is not another drill. I refuse to be another number now. I'll never staying down. This is something real.
You're going to look at Mines and they'll walk out here and be like, this team is the number 5, 6 team in the country. Because they're not going to be flashy. They're not going to, do a lot of things, but they're going to do everything perfect. They are very well coached. Greg Brandon, I've known him for 20 years through our days in Colorado, and he is an extremely good coach. Brandon Moore, their defense coordinator, is a guy that I've spent some time with talking to. They're going to be, you're going to see a well-oiled machine with Colorado Mines, is what I'm saying. Again, they're not flashy. They're not going to, the one thing they are now that they haven't been in the past, when I've played them in the past, is they were more physical up front than they've ever been. And I think that's what has got them going. They don't have a back that can go 80 yards and win a foot race. But he'll pound it, and then he'll bust one for 40. and their quarterback, all he does is make plays. I mean, he can spin the ball, and he's got a little weird throwing motion. A little different. It doesn't come from above his head. It kind of comes from the side a lot. But man, he can play. And he makes things happen with his feet. So defensively, like I said, you're going to see a sound football team, and they're going to come and they're going to hit you. So
what are some key things you have to do to come away with that win there?
Well, again, I'll say that we have to play our own game. We got to find a crack in their armor to try to force them to do things they're not comfortable with. And for defensively to make their offense, you got to rattle the quarterback a little bit, find a way to get to them. And then offensively, we got to put pressure on their defense by mixing it up, getting the run pass, popping it in there. I think Nick's going to have to stand out, be able to stand in that pocket and take some pressure. He has seen this type of defense. We're very similar to what we do in our schemes on defense. So we've seen this type of defense all from fall camp. So I'm excited to play them. They are one of those teams that you would face deep in the playoffs and make their run. That's why we're playing them. We're trying to play the top teams that we can in the country just to put ourselves out there, and we got an opportunity to bring them here. So.
You talked to me after the game Saturday about the student section and the home crowd, and we obviously would like to have that advantage again with them coming to our place on Saturday, but what do we need to do to get even more out here on Saturday?
The first thing about student section is that evidently they had a fat head of me. My mom took a picture of it and sent it to all my brothers and sisters. The first comment from almost all of them coming right back, ding, 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 was, who photoshopped the smile on his face? So here's my smile, just so my family knows this. No, I think they're great. I think I don't know if it was as big or bigger than it was in game one, but they seemed a lot louder. And, if we could double that and get 1,500, 2,000 just students here, the fans, you're going to see a great football game. This is two really good football teams, I think, going at it.
How do you make something that's already fresh even fresher? By adding fresh new things, like crisp pico de gallo for a little kick, and creamy cilantro lime sauce for that extra whoa. And pepper jack cheese because, of course, all on top of 2 fresh beef patties, or with chicken on a brioche bun. Whataburger's limited time pico de gallo burger and new pico de gallo chicken sandwiches. Good thing for fresh things. Good thing there's Whataburger.
What should be an exciting matchup tonight as number 5, Colorado School of Mines, makes their way to Texas for the first time in 90 years. And again, they have about 41 players on their squad from Texas. And so let's find out a little bit more about School of Mines and, of course, their head coach. And let's head down to the sidelines with Kent Johnson. Kent.
Cue him.
Tonight is the first ever matchup between West Texas A&M and Colorado School of Mines. In fact, it's only the second time in school history that Colorado School of Mines has ventured into Texas to play football. The last time was way back in 1931 when they went 100 miles south of here to play Texas Tech. These two schools were supposed to have played last season, but COVID-19 wiped out the Orediggers season. That sets up tonight as the first ever matchup between these two schools. The Orediggers come in tonight ranked 5th in the AFCA coaches poll That's the highest ranking the school has ever had in the sport of football. They are 3-0. They have racked up some pretty gaudy numbers against some questionable opponents, such as New Mexico Highlands, Fort Lewis, and the Buffs' opponent next week, Western Oregon. Tonight will be a real test for the Orediggers as well as for the Buffaloes. Now the Orediggers are going to line it up and run the football at you and make you stop the run. They are led by running back Michael Zeman, who is averaging over 100 yards a game on the ground. The quarterback, John Matoka, is averaging over 55 yards a game running. They will run. If you can stop it, they also have a pretty decent passing game. On the defensive side, Colorado School of Mines is allowing less than 10 yards a game rushing, so the Buffs have their work cut out for them tonight. On the sideline, the Orediggers are led by fifth-year head coach Greg Brandon. Since taking over the Golden Colorado institution, he's compiled a record of 50 wins against 13 losses. And during that time, Colorado School of Mines has won 3 of the last 4 RMAC championships. They've gone to the NCAA Division II playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. And in 2016, they had the Harlan Hill Trophy Award winner in quarterback Justin Dvorak. Our weather tonight couldn't be any better. 84 degrees at kickoff. By the time we get into the fourth quarter, the temperatures will be in the low 70s. There is a steady breeze, though, blowing out of the south at 20, gusting to 28. Some local meteorologists would call it dog walking weather, but I call it a perfect weather for football. Now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Lucas and Bryce will set the starting lineup and break down the Buffaloes. You're watching WT Football right here on the Buffalo Sports Network.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. Great job down on the sidelines from our guy Kent Johnson. I like the weather report, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Dog walking weather.
It is.
Or football weather. Whichever you prefer.
And tonight it's the Buffaloes and the Orediggers.
Yeah.
So who knows with that one. But
I'll be digging holes tonight. Who knows?
Let's talk about the keys to the game tonight, Bryce, is for West Texas A&M. Number one, when we look at this for the Buffs, they have to execute at a high level. They cannot make mistakes tonight against this team.
No, absolutely not. And so that means you've got to stay focused the entire time. You've got to know what your assignments are, and you got to be able to react to whatever changes may occur in the game. And so, again, this team is very well disciplined, very smart, and so very cerebral, and by that I just mean they know how to take away the football, and they've done that so far this season.
The other thing, though, is a strong team. We saw them out in the pregame warm-ups, look very fit, some big guys, big, strong, and athletic, and yes, they don't make a lot of mistakes. Number two, defense. Got to get off the field on third downs because Mines will keep your defense on the field, long drives, and they score touchdowns.
Yeah, I did a high school game last night where there were long games, long drives in that ball game, and it just wears the defense out. So you've got to be able to convert. You've got to be able to make stops and force them into a punting game.
And another interesting stat, Mines, they like to gamble. They've went for fourth down 10 times, and they've converted 9 of those 10.
90%. Every coach in the country will take that whenever they can get it. And so they're very good, very disciplined about converting those. And it kind of also lets you know that maybe they weren't very long fourth down, so they could go for it on short fourth downs.
Last key, Bryce, for West Texas A&M as they get ready to take on the Colorado School of Mines. is these big games like this tonight. I mean, the Buffs obviously are the underdog coming into this.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is when you want your stars to shine. We need these players, West Texas A&M does, to come out in big plays. We're talking about guys like Nick Gerber, Khalil Harris at the running back spot, Jordan Johnson, Tobias Harris, maybe.
Yeah, any of those guys can step up, and that's what we talked about in our pregame conference a little bit, is who is going to step up tonight. This is the perfect opportunity for somebody to take the reins and run with it.
Feels like the Buffs need a collective team effort tonight, right? Like bring out the Avengers.
Absolutely. Absolutely bring out the Avengers.
All right, we're going to take another timeout. When we come back, look at some of the key players in the game and also have the starting lineups for you as West Texas A&M gets set to take on Colorado School of Mines. We're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology.
Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family-owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Well, welcome back to Jayberg Field, Buffalo Stadium, as the Buffaloes get set to take on the Orediggers from Colorado School of Mines here tonight, the number 5 team in the country. And again, for those making their way here to Buffalo Stadium, you're going to see the number 2 scoring offense in the country in the Orediggers and the number 4 scoring offense in the country in the Buffaloes. And so we expect a lot of high octane. We'll see who breaks, the offense or the defense in tonight's game.
That's right. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the West Texas A&M Buffaloes, and you see the offense up there. Obviously, Nick Gerber, a great game that he had last week, a career night for him, 355 passing yards. Bryce, as we look through the starting lineups, we look at the X-Bar, X factor of the game, X-Bar Steakhouse. And tonight we got one of the big boys up there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it starts with the center. Zane Madison makes things go. And so, yeah, he is one of those guys that you take the offensive line for granted sometimes. We don't, but some people do. And the thing is, they are what drive the machine. They are what makes it happen. And it starts with the center, basically calling out signals and making sure that everybody's ready and lined up where they need to be.
Yeah, for Zane Madison, you mentioned it, the sophomore out of Van Alstyne, Texas. He was over at the box last night watching some volleyball along with the other football players and head coach Hunter Hughes. But Zane does a lot of good things. Obviously, the run game last week with Brandon Blair having a good game, getting the run action going, and also those offensive line pretty important in the pass game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are the protection. They set the tone for what's going on. There's a great block on the run game. That's how the run game gets going, as they're opening holes left or right and allowing the running backs to do what they do best. And so, again, the offensive line, just a huge integral part of what takes place for the Buffaloes.
And they're going to have their hands full tonight against a very solid defense for Mines that is holding opponents. There's a lot of very good stats for them, but one that stands out is they are 5th in the NCAA Division II with total offense, only 180 yards allowed per game.
So they're not letting people do what they normally want to do. In other words, they're controlling the line of scrimmage. They play a 3-man front, similar to what WT does, and so it's their linebackers who are flying around making tackles, and again, not allowing teams to get in rhythm offensively.
One of the things to look out for tonight is at the right guard spot. Not sure who's going to start between Zach Dietrich and Patrick Gray, so we'll look at that. Maybe some different receivers with maybe a few injuries there for the Buffaloes. But let's take a look now at the defensive starting lineups for West Texas A&M, as this defense with Hunter Hughes obviously being a defensive-minded guy. He wants his defense to step up, Bryce. He wants more turnovers. Last week, they got a good effort from our X-Bar, X factor of the game, and that is JT Cavender, who is still listed as a freshman out of Midlothian, Texas, and he started all 3 games, 21 tackles, leads the team there. Talk about JT.
Well, I'll tell you what, JT was flying all over the field last week. I got a chance to visit with him as in the post-game show last week, and again, just going up, making stops, and similar to what we talked about with what Colorado School of Mines does defensively, ours does the same thing from the standpoint of you have 3 men pushing, trying up front to clog up their run game, and so that allows the linebackers to fly around. In our particular case, we have good ones in Cavender, Ulster, Collins, and of course Hickerson or whoever may be starting in tonight's ball game.
For West Texas A&M, you talk about JT Cavender, and one of the things that Hunter Hughes had told us about him, even when he came in, recruited out of Midlothian, is he said, great kid, smart kid, he's going to go to class, he's going to work hard, and we saw it, you mentioned it with the interview, very respectful and just a hard-working guy that you go back 2 weeks ago, he was pretty frustrated with himself, felt like he did not play well in that loss against UTPB. He made up for it.
Well, the thing, we'll go back to one of our favorite players, the linebacker, Hayden Dennis, who graduated, and so he reminds me a lot of him, the way he flies around and really can read what the offense is trying to do.
Looking at the other starters here, good to see number 3 in the starting lineup, Tobias Harris. Bryce, last week, he got back in action, 6 tackles, and really it was what he did, maybe just igniting his team, that mattered most.
Well, what was fun too to watch is you had a picture that you had that you posted this week, and it shows him and Kent Johnson interacting on the sideline. Big smile. He's having fun. He wants to get out there and play, and the Buffs need his energy to get this Buff defense going.
Well, right now the Mines Orediggers are getting ready to make their way onto the field, and so let's talk a little bit about this, a little more about this Mines team. Again, the number 5 ranked team in the country, and on offense, it all starts with their quarterback, John Matoka, as Kent Johnson was telling us. And talking to Greg Brandon earlier in the week, he said, this kid, obviously, he's very talented. He's a preseason Harlan Hill candidate, but what stands out to him, he's a gym rat. He's always studying film, and he has a great attitude.
Well, that absolutely, and he takes charge in the huddle. He gets them going, and so he had 577 yards through the air so far, 10 TDs. But the thing that really defenses worry about is his scramble ability. He's averaging 55 yards a game.
They've got several receivers that they're going to go to throughout the game. The main running back, Michael Zeman, who is averaging 101 rushing yards a game. He has 6 touchdowns now. You see the Buffaloes making their way out onto the field. They're getting ready. The defense for Mines, they're 5th in the NCAA Division II total offense allowed, but 3 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions, 14 sacks. They're only allowing 9 rushing yards a game. I said that correct.
Yeah, that's huge, because again, only allowing 8 points per ball game at total, and so that means teams aren't being able to run. And the Buffs have had a good setup for the running game so far this season. They want to run the football, so that's where the battle's going to be, is how is it going to shape up tonight? Who's going to come, whose will's going to bend, who's not going to break, and so that's what we'll see in this contest tonight.
For West Texas A&M, Bryce, they have got to have a good start tonight, and as the Buffs come onto the field right there, you felt like in just watching the body language in pregame, they were focused, they were dialed in. That's what we saw last week with West Texas A&M, but we talk about having a good start. What does that mean on the field?
Well, it's huge, and again, it may come down to the coin toss here tonight as to really who's going to get off to a good start in this one tonight. But the Buffs need to work up with intensity. They need to work out with intensity. They need to be focused. We talked about that just a moment ago, and again, that's everybody know what their job is, and being able to, act and react to what's going out on the field. And so again, this team that they're playing tonight likes to go on long drives. So go back to one of your keys of the game, making stops on 3rd down and not allowing them to have an opportunity to go for it on 4th, where they're 9 of 10 so far this season. So that means you got to make stops early. You got to have the defensive intensity in order to get out there and make things happen. And so that's what the Buffs will need to do to get off to a good start tonight.
Captains getting ready to make their way out to midfield. There will be 6 captains for Colorado School of Mines. Michael Zeman is one of them. Also the center, Matt Armendariz, as for Mines. Got a very solid offensive line, obviously. Another captain, Josh Johnston, who's a wide receiver, wears number 2. And then on the defensive side, number 42, Gabriel Quartz, an outside linebacker. He will be a captain along with number 8, Kobe Brewster. And so for the Buffaloes, the captains, Tobias Harris, Eric Collins. Also offensive lineman number 71. How about that? Jacoby Lott. This is his first year with the program.
Right.
Obviously a great player, transferred in from Kansas, but already a captain.
Yeah, and that speaks volumes of what he's done in practice and what he does in the locker room for the Buffaloes this year.
And then the last captain will be Nick Gerber at quarterback.
You're interested in what School of Mines? Well, yeah, engineering is a big part of it. Mechanical engineering, 54 players on the squad are majoring in that. Computer science, 13. Civil engineering, 8. Chemical, biochemical engineering, 7. Petroleum engineering, 7. And so, there's 5 guys that will worry about economics. And so the rest, the rest are really focused on engineering, and that's what the school is built on, is their engineering program.
One of the other captains out there is Jack McAdams, a 6-year player. They had several players.
All right, gentlemen,
have
fun, play hard tonight, play smart, represent your teams well. Colorado Mines, you're the visitor, you're going to call the toss. Heads is the quarterback, tails is the football. What's your call?
Tails.
Tails is the call, the football. It is heads. You've won the toss. You want to defer to second half. You want the ball. You want to kick that way. Go ahead and switch sides.
And so it will be the School of Mines that will get the football to start.
West Texas has won the toss and elected to defer.
This one going from right to left or from
will receive.
And again, really the first big test for Colorado School of Mines probably this year, and the same holds true for the Buffaloes.
And so right now, off the bat, you're going to have this test for West Texas A&M defense, because what you don't want is you don't want Mines getting into their groove and getting a long drive, eating the clock, wearing the defense down. That's what Mines has done in this start at 3-0. They are, as you look at time of possession, third in the country.
Right.
35 minutes and 48 seconds they possess the ball.
Yeah, that's the thing. They really limit the opportunities for the opposing team's offense. That's what makes them go. And so this is where we go back to what we talked about in pregame. You want to make stops. You want to make sure you're able to make things happen defensively. So, yes, the Buffs will get a test from the early get-go in this one tonight. And so we'll see if they're ready and if they're focused for what Mines is going to throw at them this evening.
Getting ready for the opening kickoff. Let's mention our officials for tonight. Head referee will be Jeffrey Bell. Umpire Leonard Longhorn. It's a solid last name there for a official here in the state of Texas. Head linesman Estevan Baca, field judge Nicholas DePonte, line judge Matt Sherwood, side judge Matthew Kruger, back judge will be Max Heckel, and center judge is Justin Wilcox.
I don't always get to say it, but I actually know one of the officials.
Ah, there you go.
Matt Sherwood, and good official, has been doing college for a long time. Kind of has stepped because his kids are getting bigger from the area, and so his kids are getting bigger, and so he's primarily been focused on them and not doing as many high school games. But again, Matt, a solid guy, and he has a brother that's a high school coach here in the area.
That's Dan Sherwood. So with Mines, and we talk about their 3-0 start, and you heard Kent Johnson say it, that Greg Brandon says, yeah, but the combined record of our first three opponents is 1-8. Their team, they are excited about this game. They're excited to come to Texas.
Right.
Obviously, they haven't been here in a long time.
Right.
But they're excited to play in front of this atmosphere, to get on the road, to have fun with their teammates. And the last thing for Mines that they want to do is finish it off with a win, obviously.
Absolutely. This is going to be the biggest test for them this season so far. And again, playing a quality opponent in WT. And as we talk about, WT comes in, they are the underdog in this ball game tonight. So let's see how they play with that underdog moniker as they get set for this action.
All right, we're underway as the kickoff. Will just be fair caught there, and no return that time for Mines, as it was Mason Karp. Back to receive, and so we will see for the first time tonight John Matoka in this Mines offense. Michael Zeman, mentioned him, the running back, but this offensive line is very good. Left tackle Zach Heckman, the left guard Blake Ray, captain in the center is Matt Armendariz, wears number 78. On the right side of the line, Justin Wood, number 70, and number 66, Nick Vandergraff. This is not the biggest offensive line in terms of weight, but they're very good at what they do.
Like I said, they look like they hit the weight room a lot, and so they're in very good shape.
Buffs bring up a linebacker here on the first play from scrimmage for Colorado School of Mines, and Matoka fakes it, throws it, and it's blocked right back the other direction by Eric Collins. And so you get your most athletic defensive player involved quickly, and a good play for the Buffs.
Well, you said they walked up a linebacker, and that was Eric Collins, who goes to the right end position, basically, and he comes in unchecked and just jumps in the air. It's so athletic, he's able to knock that one away, as you just saw right there. And again, great play by Eric Collins.
That reminded me of what I was calling earlier today on the broadcast. That was volleyball action. So on second down, Matoka, nobody open, but he can do that, run it, and he is hit hard at the end of that play. But Matoka just gets right back up. So only a short gain on the run, and you like the way that was finished defensively.
I do, and that goes back to the guy we were talking about, J.T. Cavender, who comes over and just lowers a boom, as you watch right here, boom, and takes him out of bounds. And so that again, sets a statement, sets a tone. And that's what the Buff defense are trying to do here on 3rd and long.
I would say that J.T. was saying welcome to Texas, but John is from Texas. John Matoka is from Magnolia, Texas.
Exactly.
3rd down and long, and this is where the Buffs defense Needs to get off the field. Good protection, and it's thrown and nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of one of the defensive backs down there for West Texas A&M.
That's Ty Dillon, and I mean Ty, they had the receiver sandwiched. He was in front, and they had a secondary man behind him, and he just followed the quarterback's eyes and went up in the air and pulled that one in. Nice job defensively by the Buffs, forcing a punt here to start things off tonight.
And, you know, you hate to sound too excited just in a opening drive, but to do that to Mines and force them to punt is a great start for the Buffaloes. This punt goes out of bounds, not a great one. Tobias Harris, by the way, was back to return that punt, did not get his hands on it. No flags on the field, so the Buffs offense has it near midfield.
Yeah, that is a great start for the Buffaloes, and that's what we talked about. They've got to get off to a fast start in this one tonight. Defensively, they're able to do it there, put pressure on them. Now it's the offense's turn. How focused are they as they come out and get ready to go? Got great field position at midfield, and so got a short field to work with. Let's see what they can do.
All right, this Colorado School of Mines defense, veteran secondary, a lot of seniors, juniors and seniors on the back end. Tough defensive line, and then some good linebackers as well. Just solid all the way around defensively. Gerber wants to air it out on first down. A man open. It's Hunter Kaufman into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Man, what a start. As that was Nick Gerber pumping once, trying to bring up some of the secondary guys, making him think he was going to go then, and then he just timed it perfectly to on a beautiful route run by Hunter Kaufman, and Hunter gets in the end zone for the score on a 50-yard bomb.
That was his first touchdown reception this year. Hunter Kaufman, the sophomore transfer from Kansas. And now Gage Urias will attempt this extra point. And it is good. So the Buffs lead at 7-0 after a huge strike. As we look on the replay again here, Gerber going to Kaufman. And you're right, bit on the pump fake. Perfect pass. And then a good finish into the end zone. So WT strikes first. The Buffs lead early. We're back after this timeout here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are one part passion, one part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Field, Buffalo Stadium, and the crowd into it early, and for good reason, as the defense is able to force a punt from the school that has a tendency to take long drives, and so they were 3 out, had a punt away, and the Buffaloes on their first play from scrimmage, and it's a beautiful pass from Nick Gerber to Hunter Kaufman, and Kaufman just curls around the corner and gets ahead of the safety, and is able to get that as it's floated in on his shoulder into the end zone for a 50-yard score. The Buffs lead it 7-0 with 14:20 left to play here in the first quarter. And Lucas, that's exactly when you're sitting drawing up how you want this game to begin, is how the coaching staff for WT drew it up.
I mean, you get to 3 and out, great field position, and then you finish. I want to mention the broadcast sponsor tonight, Texas Farm Bureau. We appreciate their support. Game sponsor tonight, Carpet Tech. And it is Mauricio Gonzalez who will kick off. And again, should be no chance on the return. Mines will bring it out to the 25. And you get this kind of a start, and what you do, Bryce, is you inject a lot of enthusiasm. So the defense does their job, 3 and out.
Right.
But they see the offense come back and make that kind of a play and get on the board first. Now they're feeling even more.
Yeah, and so that gets them pumped up too. And so this right now, you know, the Colorado School of Mines, the Orediggers have now relaxed a little bit. They've had a series, and so now they can go out, and they've got it scripted. You know, they got 15 plays scripted, so they only got to run 3, and so, you know, they still have that script they want to run through, and let's see how the defense again reacts hopefully as they did the first time.
Linebackers are back here. Buffs maybe expecting pass on first down. It is a pass thrown to the outside, and a good catch made on the outside by Joe Golter, who's a senior from Longmont, California. It's his 12th catch on the season. Last week at Fort Lewis, 4 catches, 111, and a touchdown. The receivers are strong. They're all about 6'1", 6'2", and sure-handed.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a big thing. Golter just a little up and in pattern that time. Redshirt senior, 6'1", 195, a little bit bigger than Tobias, and so he was able to use his body to shield.
They shift 2 players from the left side over to the right on 1st and 10. Zeman gets the carry. It's a good run. He's taken down from behind. Good pursuit by J.T. Cavender after about a 3-yard run. And Zeman, here's what Coach Brandon said about Michael Zeman. He said he is deceptively fast, but he said more importantly, he said he's got great feet and he's low to the ground. He's just hard to tackle.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you got a solid running back, and by that I just mean when you look at him, he's just that bowling ball type of guy.
210 pounds.
Yeah, that just is going to come at you and just keep the feet churning.
Buffs walk a linebacker up on the outside. It's Talon Hickerson, outside backer. And he's coming. Matoka steps up. He can run it. He's at the 35 up to the 40 and then squeezes underneath a player and nearly picked up a first down. And that's interesting there. Matoka, he's already run it twice. And Coach Brandon and the staff, they get a little nervous when he gets out there. It's a great thing because he's so fast, but he's not that big. He's only 180 pounds, and you don't want to take too many hits.
Yeah, he's an undersized quarterback, 5'11", 180 pounds, and so, yeah, you don't want him to take, when you've got these 300-pound defensive linemen coming at you, you don't want to take too many hits.
But he can escape pressure, that's for sure. It's Zeman on 3rd and short. He carries defenders and picks up that first down. Tough running as it took 2 players to take him down. Oster and also the safety Escalante comes up.
Well, and that's what the quarterback gives you when he does scramble, because he averages 55 yards a game. So on a 2nd down play when they have to go long, he has that opportunity to get outside the pocket and get upfield. And so that's what makes those 3rd down runs short. And so that's what the advantage is for the Orediggers so far this season.
All right, so a couple first downs picked up on this 2nd drive of the ball game for Colorado School of Mines. They trail the Buffs 7-0. And Zeman runs right up the middle. That was a collision. It was like a car wreck right there between Zeman and Xavier Rivera. So 210 pounds meets 290 pounds from number 74.
Well, he wanted to follow Matt Armitage as he was the lead block on that one. And Matt, not a small guy, 6'2", 295. He's the center, basically. And so he was trying to curl back around the guard and open up a running lane. But again, the Buffs did a great job with 2 down linemen and a linebacker coming up to make the stop.
Matt, one of the several players from the state of Texas. He's from Lake Travis. 3 offensive linemen in the starting lineup are from Texas. Pass to the outside, and look at the yak. The yards after the catch for Josh Johnston, 6'2", 190-pound senior from Washington. And that will be nearly another first down picked up there.
They moved it a yard. They moved it back a yard. It looked like he had the first down, but they moved it back. And so we'll have to be at the 43. They got to get to the 42. And again, you're right. Those yards after the catch uses their big body to kind of move any kind of tackle that's coming in their way.
7 offensive linemen up on the line of scrimmage as you get number 73 over on the right side and 55 on the left. Zeman, you think they're running? Yes. And it's another first down up to the 40-yard line before the Buffs can stop them right there. So that said, it's interesting, Bryce, just a single receiver split to each side, 1 running back, we're running right at you.
Well, the thing is, that's what wears teams down defensively, is because when you have 7 blockers out there, and so that's your front 7 going against their 7, and so it's hat on hat, and so that's where they're able to wear down defenses.
Orediggers looking good on this drive. Already to the WT 40-yard line. Zeman trying to find a hole. Patient running. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 before J.T. Cavender and also Gage Smith come up to make that stop. Right now, this offensive line, though, they are starting to push that Buff defensive line back because you're seeing a surge.
And again, that's the thing. That's what's their advantage is these guys have played together for a while, and so they do know how to move out on the field and move defensive lines back, and that's their big thing. They want to try to push you 2-3 yards back. Your running back, then if he gets 2 more, that's 5 yards every carry.
2 receivers out to the far side from Matoka, out of the gun, fakes it and throws. Good catch, and then cut down quickly. Good pursuit by Gage Smith. But the catch is made on the outside by Tristan Smith.
And that was a nice catch, too, because just as the ball got there, so too did the defender. And I don't know how he held onto the football, but did a nice job of pulling that one in for the reception.
Yeah, Gage Smith, freshman out of Sherman, Texas, last week 6 tackles. So here is the third and short on this drive for the Orediggers. This time Matoka keeps it. And look at the quarterback being physical right there, takes on the defender and picks up that first down, crosses the 30 to the 29-yard line. So impressed so far with John Matoka, Bryce, really doing it all. He's got a good arm. He runs when he needs to, makes good reads. There's a reason why he's a preseason candidate for the Harlan Hill.
Yeah, there really is. And again, you talk about this school a little bit too. You know, a lot of these, several of these players out here working on their masters. A couple of them have 2 masters, and so very intelligent, very smart. And so they know the scheme and they know the system that they're running.
Mason Karp is the slot receiver here on first down. Matoka in trouble, and Matoka is going to be sacked. He's just trying to hold on to the football. He does. Victor Smith, Eric Collins was the first player back there, and then Victor Smith helps him. But that is what, if you're WT, you got to see a lot more of that. If Mines does go back to pass, you've got to apply pressure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And they got the pressure in there that time, as you see right here, as they're trying to get, pressure on the quarterback and able to do so. And so, again, that's Eric Collins. We've seen him already in the ball game tonight as he has come up and made 2 big plays defensively to kind of alter that rhythm that the Orediggers offense is in.
Left tackle Zach Heckman, good sign he is able to get up, but hobbling as he's being helped off by the training staff. He's a 6'5", 310-pound sophomore out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Home of Colorado State, I believe. Fort Collins, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Northern Colorado.
Yep. And so it
you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
Northern
Colorado State, the Rams.
Greeley, yeah.
So they get a new offensive lineman in.
Yeah.
And they look at this, 3 receivers split out to the far side. The single receiver at the bottom of your screen, Joe Golter. Matoka rolls to the left. Now he cuts it back up, and he's taken down hard by the Buffs defensive lineman, Jamarcus Head.
Well, the Buffs had 4 down linemen that time that came up, and so they brought 4 instead of the normal 3, and so that's where their offensive line then has to adjust, and the Buffs able to get good pressure. Credit the secondary because there wasn't anybody to release to either.
And so the Orediggers have not been in these situations very often early in this season. It is 3rd down and about 20 here. 3rd and 19 from the WT 38-yard line. Matoka, it's a draw play. Zeman can't burst free, and that's because the defensive line held their ground. Jalen Hill.
Yes. Man, Jalen was a man among boys that time, and I'm not saying anything bad about the Orediggers, but he just willed his way to get in there and make that stop, and credit Jalen Hill on a nice stop defensively to force another punt.
That is what the Buffs have needed. They've needed the front 7 to just continue to get better. We saw them do that last week.
Yes. And again, we talked about who needs to step up in this game. Jalen Hill is one of those. Eric Collins is another. Defensively, those guys have stepped up so far in the early going.
So Mines will punt. Standing at the 50-yard line. And Tobias Harris comes up and makes that fair catch. Just short of the 15-yard line. And a different looking drive, obviously, for Mines as they move further down the field, but the same result. The Buffs force a punt.
No, absolutely. So the Buffs defense bent, but they didn't break, and again forced a 4th down punt.
All right, we will take a timeout. Come back. 6:56 still to play the first quarter, and WT leads 7-0. Offense about to get back on the field. You're watching Buffalo football here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you with dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Bud Light, proudly brewed.
Welcome back to Jay Ferg Field, and look at the stands and the fans, or the fans in the stands.
However you want to look at it. They got Tobias's fat head.
There you go. Got his fat head going in tonight's contest as well. In fact, good on the upper level, too. We got a good student contingent that's making their way in for this one tonight. So Buffs giving him something to cheer about here in the early going.
We mentioned we were not sure who was going to get the start at the guard position. Patrick Gray, number 66, on the right side for the Buffs. Also Jeremy Carnbay, Maxwell Perez, so double tight end set. Khalil Harris waits for an opening, finds it, and has a first down across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. That's a nice 13-yard carry on first down.
Yeah, that really wasn't even a good handoff. It was a high snap to Nick, and Gerber kind of bobbles it a little bit and then is able to get it to Khalil, but then he found an opening on the right side of the line that time. Did a nice job to pick up a first down.
WT 64 yards of offense, 2 plays of offense. Gerber throws this one, caught on the outside by Noah Bogardus near the 35-yard line. They brought pressure that time, Mines did, but
yes.
Nick Gerber got rid of it just in time.
And so, again, that's what your read has to be. How quick do you have to get rid of it? And so that time, Bogardus gave him a nice target, and he was able to connect with him for a nice 7-yard pickup on that pitch and catch.
You know, a great start this season for Nick Gerber, 66% completion, 766 passing yards, 7 touchdowns for Nick. And the guy he just found there, Bogardus, had the big 82-yarder last week.
Yeah, Noah's beginning to work into one of his favorites category a little bit.
Ball spotted right on the 35-yard line. Second down and short. Harris, again, patient running, and is close, very close to the first down marker. It's going to be.
And if there's somebody that probably wants to have an exceptional game today, it's going to be Khalil Harris. Not because they're going to get the number 5 team in the country, but because he hasn't felt like he has really got in rhythm so far. And so far, with those quick 2 first steps, he is showing that he is ready for the action tonight. He wants to get off to a good start.
That was Jaden Williams, the safety that came up and made that tackle. He's a junior from Fresno, California. Empty backfield as Jared Compton goes out. As a receiver, a man is open, and Gerber just sailed that pass. Carnbay would have been maybe a difficult catch as he was not ready for it, but the pressure also being applied. Part of the reason why is Zach Hester, the defensive end, crashed through.
Yeah, and they brought 2 linebackers up that time as well, and so they had 6 that were rushing toward the quarterback that time. And so, again, Nick had to get rid of it probably earlier than he wanted to. He just couldn't get in rhythm with his tight end.
So that stops the clock. 5:39 still to play in the opening period. Buffs scored first. Mines has had the football twice and has punted twice. Compton makes a one-man miss, and Jared spins, still running at the 50. Compton breaks free. He's into the clear at the 25-yard line and then taken down. And how about that run there for Jared Compton, who doesn't have many carries. It's only his 11th rush this season. That was determined running right there.
Well, he made the most of it, and he's another guy that wants to have a good ball game too. And that time he looked like he was bottled up, just kept the feet churning, and then was able, as you can see on the replay here, is he is able just to keep spins once, spins twice, and then what a huge gain getting out to the 20-yard line.
That's a 42-yard pickup for Compton, and the Buffs on the move again. Harris this time is stood up. The ball nearly popped free at the end of that run. That was a blitz and a great tackle by Gabriel Courts. Linebacker, a senior from Centennial, Colorado. An interesting story with him. This is his first year to start. He's been with the program the entire time. He's a senior, and Coach Brandon said he's a guy that they're so proud of because he's just worked hard. He's been a backup throughout his career. Already this year, though, Bryce, they've played 3 games. He's been the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week twice.
Yeah, that's impressive to show what he wants to do his senior season.
So after that stop, no gain, it's second down and 10. The Buffs will look to throw. Kaufman trying to make an adjustment and can't get to that football. Tight coverage by the corner. Give credit to Cam Forrest.
And local fans here were hoping for a penalty on that one. A lot of hand checking going on. But again, it was Kaufman just trying to get ahead of the defense and not able to do so.
And I think if the ball would have been thrown a little back in play, maybe they get the call. But that one sailed. Really wasn't going to be catchable. And so it is third down for the Buffs.
The first thing you want to do is get the first down, and they got to get to the 10 to do that.
Looking pass, so Mines will most likely bring some pressure. They don't. They sit back. Gerber trying to get it to Tyree Tipton through the hands of the intended receiver. And so a good defensive stand there after Jared Compton ran 42 yards down to the 20-yard line. The Buffs go 3 plays in a row of nothing to show for it. And so what they will try to go for is the field goal here.
Yeah, and so they had Logan Rayburn on him that time, and he's a 6'1" cornerback basically, and so he was step for step. That's why Nick had to kind of float it over the defender that time and just threw it too far and went out of bounds.
This will be a 37-yard try from the right hash. Blair on the hold, and Urias, it's got the distance, and it's right down the middle. A big field goal there made, a 37-yarder for Gage Urias. And there's a look at the man that got him down there, Compton, with that big run. And so the 3 points tacked on for the Buffs makes the score 10-0 West Texas A&M. 4:12 to play here in the first quarter. We're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
A smile is understood in any language. It represents joy, love, and shows you care. At Full Smile Dental, our mission is to build lifelong relationships one smile at a time by providing accessible, compassionate, quality care with the personal touch of friendship. Come see us at Full Smile Dental, located in Canyon, Amarillo, Dumas, and Dalhart, and ask us about our free Whitening for Life program.
Well, a 9-play scoring drive for the Buffaloes. It goes 66 yards. They cap it off with a 37-yard field goal from Gage Urias, and that pushes the Buffalo lead to 10-0 over the number 5 Orediggers. Nice drive for the Buffaloes.
And you got to be happy if you're a West Texas A&M fan, because they've had good balance. 57 passing yards, 59 rushing yards for WT. Carp still going to just call the fair catch on that one on the kick return, and the Mines offense will come back onto the field. They have a total of 39 yards. The surprising thing so far is that the rushing yards, only 15 so far for the Orediggers. And you know Coach Brandon talking to his team about we need to get Zeman, we need to get Matoka, some of these other guys that we will see later in the game at the running back spot. We need to get that involvement.
Well, and you talked about it in the pregame too, that they were only allowing 9 yards on the ground basically per ball game. Buffs got 59 here in the early going, so good running start for the Buffaloes as well.
Lead is 10-0. WT walks up Hickerson at that outside linebacker spot. We'll see if the Orediggers throw. They are. Matoka, nobody open. He's going to roll to the right, directing traffic on the run. Perfect throw, and a first down there after the catch, I think, was made, and it was Tristan Smith.
Yeah, Tobias Harris takes him out of bound, and a rather, solid greeting to Texas for the receiver on that one, as Tobias takes him all the way out, almost back to the bench. And so, again, nice pitch and catch from the quarterback as he found his receiver. He had to scramble a little bit to do it, but was able to make the connection.
And a throw that was on the money by Matoka, and a sure catch from Tristan Smith. 15th catch of the season for him. Matoka, look at him fake out the outside backer Collins as Eric was getting ready to jump in the air, and just a little pump fake.
Well, I'm wondering if that's what the intent was, because he had his receiver out there that he was looking at, Tristan Smith, and he had him in his eyesight. He was trying to get it to him, but I think Eric went flying in, and so maybe he just took the ball and decided to run.
It was a pickup of 5 there for Matoka. 2nd down and 5 with the Buffs. Again, walking one linebacker up. See what Tobias Harris does, if they'll bring him as well. Zeman runs right up the middle. Takes a couple of defenders with him to the 45-yard line. So it sets up 3rd down and 2 here for Colorado School of Mines.
Cole Ulster comes up to make the stop. And so, again, that's what Mines wants to get to, 3rd and short. That's why if they don't make it, they feel confident. That's why they can go for it on 4th down. They're very comfortable with this offensive line being able to move people back 2 and 3 yards at a time.
You talked about all these Texas connections from Mines. How about the Colorado connection there? Cole Oster out of Castle Rock, Colorado, makes the tackle. 3rd and short. Zeman shifts over. And Zeman runs into a wall of maroon and is pushed back. He will not get the first down. The X-Bar Steakhouse X Factor of the game. Yes, sir. Number 45.
Yes, coming in to make that stop in the head. JT Cavender comes in once again. And so this is interesting because 4th down, really a lot of places where I would think that the Orediggers would go for it. 4th and 2, they send out the punt team. on this one. And so I think they realize that they're playing a little bit different level of defense tonight, and so they're not going to chance it here.
This punt low, and Tobias wanted to get his hands on that football, but just didn't get the angle he wanted. It's a good punt. It's going to go all the way down inside the 10. They'll mark it down at the 9-yard line.
Let's talk a little bit about that too. Tobias getting the chance on punts to return tonight. And so, again, coming back slow this year because of injury, and got into action last week. And really you could see that his competitive juices were flowing last week. And so ready to go this week on punt team coverage.
We appreciate everyone watching the broadcast tonight on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. The number 5 ranked team in the country, Colorado School of Mines, 3-0 record, going up against West Texas A&M with a 2-1 record. And right now the Buffs offense has the football deep in their own territory. Gerber will throw, and through the hands of Tipton, and that tackle, I would say, was finished, and finished well by Kobe Brewster.
Yeah, very much so. As soon as the ball got there and he tried to turn, then Brewster came up and said, no, you're not really going anywhere, and took him to the turf pretty hard. And so, again, just good defensive pressure that time by Colorado School of Mines.
Buffs have Jordan Johnson in. He's the tight end to the far side of the field on 2nd down and 10. As deep as they are here, first down would be much needed. Khalil Harris doesn't find any running room as the linebackers, and then also that same player there, Kobe Brewster, the safety, came up, and they just wouldn't allow him to get loose.
He wanted to cut back to the inside, but they had it so well gummed up, there wasn't any place to go, so he could only just fall forward that time. And really, like you just said, he got back to the line of scrimmage, makes it 3rd and long.
The secondary, after giving up that long 50-yard touchdown to start the game, they have tightened up for the Orediggers. Buffs taking their time. Play clock now down under 10 seconds. Safety blitz coming. Gerber going to throw this to the outside, and Tipton just couldn't get there. It was good coverage.
Yeah, there's going to be a late flag.
Okay. Did you see a tug?
It looked like there was a tug, and that was from their defensive back, Jacob Click, that time. And then Click comes up and emphatically says no catch, but then the official reached and threw a flag. Let's see if that's what it is, because, again, it looked like he was trying to get to Tipton, and he kind of got pulled a little bit. Let's see.
Holding on the defense, number 1. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, Bryce, I think we have this on the replay. You can see him just grab that jersey just a little bit. As we look at it here, watch the bottom of the screen.
So again, he's looking to the left, and so right there's the grab. You can see the pole, yep, right there. And so thought he disguised it, but the official on top of it, able to throw the flag, and the Buffs get a first down.
It's a huge break for WT, because if that penalty is not thrown, they're punting. Instead, we're under a minute to play, ending the first quarter. Buffs lead 10-0. Pressure again. Gerber, screen pass back to Jordan Johnson. Johnson gets a block. He's at the 30. Jordan down the side, spins across the 40-yard line. So Jordan Johnson, his first catch, and that's what we're used to seeing from number 16.
Well, and that was so well designed too, because they weren't paying attention to Jordan as the tight end. And so again, it was a tight end screen that time as Nick looks to the left, and then he will take it, as you can see right here. He looks to his left and then rolls back toward the other side of the field. What a great catch by Jordan Johnson. Picks it up across the 40-yard line.
So over 20 yards on that completion. Gerber will try to run now, but slides, and with the slide, he's only going to pick up 2.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to start the slide at the 45. Instead, they're marking at the 43. And that'll be the end of the quarter with the Buffs on top.
Well, this is a battle of two teams that were both in the top 4 offensively.
Yes.
End of the quarter. Huge advantage here for this West Texas A&M defense. Just one quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter.
10-0 is the score after we've played one quarter. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Buffs having the football at the start of this second quarter. You're watching West Texas A&M football on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your car is everything you always dreamed of.
That was a great play call.
Much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
10-0, the Buffs lead this one as they now go from left to right or from north to south. Nick Gerber in the shotgun, ready to get the offense underway here on this 2nd down and 8.
And they'll fake it to Khalil, and then Gerber cannot escape. Good tackle. As coming up for Mines was number 52.
Yeah, Chafin Ross, nice job from that linebacker spot as he comes up and just grabs a hold of his ankle and wouldn't let go. And so a nice stop because Nick did have some running room there. Had he not made that tackle, he would have got to the secondary.
So we'll see what West Texas A&M dials up here on 3rd and long. We know that Colorado School of Mines, they have been bringing pressure constantly. And so that has resulted in some creative play calling from Russ Martin. Gerber sets in the pocket, throws. Catch made. Short of the first down from Bogardus. It's 4th down and 4, no question. Hunter Hughes sends out the punting team, as it's a big stand there for Mines.
So the Buffs 140 yards in that first quarter of play to 59 for Colorado School of Mines. The Buffs had 58 yards on the ground, 79 through the air, and Colorado School of Mines 23 rushing yards, 36 on the ground. And more importantly for the Buffs, they lead on the scoreboard 10-0.
Low snap, but Welch gets it. A good kick that is fair caught near the 15-yard line. And so a nice job there from the punter, Braden Welch.
Yeah, what they like about him is he does get some height on his punts. And so, again, the question was, would they go to the middle or would they go to the right or the left? And so he has really improved over the course of the last 2 weeks. Has been able to just get some good height, good hang time on that one, allow the defenders to get down there and cover the football.
Right now, Colorado School of Mines, Bryce, offensively, it seems they've been close to breaking through and getting on a scoring drive, just haven't been able to finish it. What do you think they've got to do to change that?
Well, again, they're going to change some things offensively because they would still want to get the running game going, but they're going to probably utilize their quarterback a little more because we're not really spying on him yet. We're still keeping an eye on Zeman, the running back.
And it looks like the quarterback, Matoka, comes up and maybe changes the play. He hands it off to Zeman. Zeman nowhere to run. And it's a good tackle made by Taylon Hickerson, the outside backer, the freshman from Missouri City, 6'3", 200-pounder. And Hunter Hughes really loves this kid.
I tell you what, the coaching staff talked about this freshman class and some of the players coming in. They really love the athleticism. And Hickerson just did a great example of what he meant by that. By the way, he fought off a block and was able to get in the backfield and make a stop.
Only a gain of 1, and so far the Buff defenders have done a pretty good job of tackling Zeman low, which is a smart idea. Matoka wants to throw, in trouble, and hit hard from behind. Dylan Mata is going to make the tackle. It's a short gain up to the 19-yard line, so a pickup of 3 for Matoka. A good decision maker, Bryce. I mean, that time the pocket collapses and he takes off.
I tell you what, he's not rattled. That's why I said on that play before when Eric Collins came in and jumped in the air, and maybe that wasn't a design run. Maybe it was, maybe he was just taking off, but he doesn't get rattled, stays very composed. And again, that time he didn't have anybody to throw to, just took off, saw a running lane, try to get out to it.
Well, third downs have been pretty good for Mines in this first quarter, even though they have not scored yet. They're 3 of 6 on third down. This is a little bit longer. It's 3rd and 6. Matoka throws on the outside. Tight coverage. Was the catch made? It was. It's going to be a short of the first down as a battle for the football taking place.
I'll tell you what, that was really, really good defense.
Was it Dillon again?
Buffs. Dillon, yeah, absolutely. Tied Dillon on one-on-one cover, man-on-man coverage, basically stayed with the receiver. And as soon as the ball got there, he did too. And that forces a 4th down and 2. And so, again, Mines bringing in their punting unit as credit tied Dillon on a nice stop. The coaching staff pats him on the back as he makes his way to the near sideline.
And he's also a freshman.
Yeah,
they're all over the field.
I'll tell you.
which is sometimes can be a frustrating thing for the coaches, and sometimes it's a great thing. This punt is a booming kick that sends Tobias back to the 15-yard line, reverses field, and then is run out of bounds. Good job pursuing that punt there for Colorado Mines, and a booming, like I said, a booming kick.
So Tobias and Denver Hargrove have had a running conversation on special teams all night long.
You don't say, huh?
This was on the, yeah, it's surprising that Tobias is involved in a conversation.
All right, we'll step aside, take a timeout. When we come back, the Buffs offense back on the field again. WT up 10-0, early second quarter. We're back after this.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs! Well, welcome back to Jay Ferg Field, Buffalo Stadium. Good crowd on hand to watch this against number 5 Colorado School of Mines. The Buffs lead it 10-0 tonight over the Orediggers. And again, the offense gets a chance to come back out for the 1st and 10 at the 20. Lucas, this will be a really good time to go on a rather extensive drive for the offense.
And for the Buffs, they're going to bring in Brandon Blair, who had a really solid game last week for the Buffaloes at running back. He picks up a blitzing linebacker, and this leads to an incredible catch down the field by Hunter Kaufman. I don't know how he held on to that football because he got sandwiched by the safety back there.
Mason Pierce came up, and just as the ball got there, he got drilled, but somehow he hangs on to it. 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. Plenty of time for Nick Gerber to throw, thanks to Brendan Blair, who picks up a linebacker who came in to try to trip him up. And you can just see the replay right there. What a nice catch by Kaufman.
22-yard gain there. Gerber will run and is hit at the end of that run. Picks up about 6 yards over the right side. So pressure came from the Orediggers. They mark it back, so it's about a 5-yard pickup there for Nick.
Again, though, better the pressure that was on him that time, better a 5-yard gain than a 3-yard loss. And so he looked to his left. He wanted to go that way. There wasn't anybody in the route that he wanted to throw to, so he takes off on the right side and picks up those 5 yards.
High snap. It's trouble for Gerber, and he just has to dive on this football. It's going to be a huge loss all the way back to the 35-yard line. Unfortunate there for the Buffs, because now it's going to be 3rd and forever. 3rd and 22 to be exact.
Yeah, Zane Madison right now has got his hands on his hips. He's upset with himself because not sure what happened, but he just got that one over the quarterback's head. And so and we act like it's an easy thing to do. We talked about that in pregame, being the center and calling out the defensive sets and everything else. But at the same time, it's just getting it back to your quarterback.
So now this will be interesting here. 3rd down and 22 for WT, and they will come with a draw. Brandon Blair looking for a block. Doesn't find it. Able to gain yardage across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. But it'll be punting time again for WT, as each team's defense really tightening up after the first quarter, where, for the Buffs, they scored the 10 points. But it's been Mines defensively that's settled in.
Yeah, and they really have. And again, they've changed some things. They'll walk 2 up to the line. They'll show a 6-man front. And so I think that's frustrating the offense a little bit on what they want to do, because, again, it's your matchups. It's who's blocking who. And that's what comes into play.
The punt angled to the far side. Fair caught on the run. That's not easy to do there. And a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, let's see if this is the 5-yarder or the longer version. again, Braden Welch got his legs taken out from him. And so it was one of those where the officials were checking with WT coaches, and they're saying,
this would be huge if it is a personal foul, the 15-yarder, I should say. Here's the replay on it.
Yeah, and you can see he's got his legs taken out from underneath. And so I think what the official is saying, they may be calling it a 5-yarder. That's why Hunter is trying to make a determination of where they want it. They may tack it on the end of the punt.
So not the malicious.
Running into the kicker, number 17 of the receiving team. That penalty is declined. First down.
So it probably was only going to be the 5-yard variety, and so that would have only that just moved him up the field, and they would have to re-kick it again anyway. And so they're going to go. I thought though they don't decline it; they take the penalty and tack it on the end of the play.
All right, we have a timeout on the field. We'll step aside, be right back. It'll be Colorado School of Mines football, 8:53 to play in the second quarter.
This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train long, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Welcome back to Jay Ferg Field as the Buffaloes with a 10-0 lead here at Buffalo Stadium as the punt is away, and so the officials kind of sort through everything. I believe they tacked on the extra 5 yards.
And that looked like the right call. Slid underneath Welch and definitely made contact, but not of that 15-yard.
Right. And so they'll move them back inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's where Mines will take over.
John Matoka back on the field, just 67 yards of total offense so far for Mines. This changed that as Zeman carries defenders, has a first down. That is the longest run of the night for Colorado School of Mines, and so the offensive line got going over on that right side.
Yeah, they really did, and so that was set up. It was designed to go that way. They had 27 yards rushing before that play, and so, again, he was able to get to the outside and turn the corner, turn upfield, had a convoy with him, and was able to pick up another first down.
1st and 10, Orediggers. They turn to the side and get the play call in. Matoka signals up to the offensive line. Buffs with some extra defenders up at the line of scrimmage. And Eric Collins, the linebacker, is in coverage. Matoka rolls, has a man open, and it's caught. Escalante was a little late coming over from the safety spot to slow down Max McLeod, who makes the catch down the field for a first down. Sophomore from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, Max McLeod, again, 6'3", 205. Use that height to his advantage and able to go and pull that one in.
These receivers are pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and that's the thing. These are bigger receivers than we normally see. You've got 6'2", 6'3", and so those guys use their body to shield off the defender and pull in the receptions.
Matoka, 6 of 8 now. And that one's picked. Tobias going down the sideline, stays in. Did he run out? He did run out, but the pick from number 3, Tobias Harris, it happened so fast. He jumps the route.
So what Tobias does on that, he baits the quarterback to throw the football, is really what he does. He's staying back, and he timed it perfectly to fill the passing lane, grab the football, and then he was off to the races and gets it down on a return to the 23-yard line. As you see right here, again, he baits him him and then comes up and makes the interception. He kept it in front of him all the way. Credit their running back who was able to knock him out of bounds on Michael Zeman. But
or would have been a touchdown.
There is, we talked about we needed some big players to step up tonight in this ball game, and so far the ones you named in our pregame show have done just that.
It's good you texted them the keys to the game, right, Bryce?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
1st and 10 Buffs on the Mines 24-yard line, and Harris is going nowhere. He's going backwards, actually. It's Colorado School of Mines. They have shut down whatever WT has been trying to do offensively.
Yeah, credit Jack Peterson that time as he came up to make a stop, and then Gabriel Courts, the linebacker, has 17 tackles on the year, adds to that total there as he came in. And again, they just kind of manhandled the left side of the offensive line for the Buffaloes.
Nearing the 7-minute mark here in quarter number 2. Compton is in again at receiver, and it goes a little high through his hands. One he maybe should have got, but Gerber would like that throwback.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A little bit too much mustard on the pass that time for Nick Gerber. We saw that last week because when he was missing high, and there was another example of those where, again, he had his receiver open. He just, as he released it, he missed high and just couldn't make the connection.
So 3rd down and 10. Buffs need a 1st down here. Do something with that turnover that they got from the defense. Gerber looking, nobody's open, so now he has to take off and run, and he's taken down from behind. Good pursuit as Nolan Reeve, the linebacker, came up, and so the receivers just simply could not get open, and credit the Mines secondary for that play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nolan Reeve was playing spy on the quarterback that time, so he sat back and he was watching him. He was just in coverage, and so he waited for Nick Gerber to make his move, and when he did, then he took off and was able to make that stop and brings up 4th down.
Be nearly a 40-yard try here for Urias, who made his first field goal attempt. The second one he will put right down the middle as well. So add on 3 points there. Urias with a couple of field goals tonight, and it is now 13-0. West Texas A&M leading Colorado School of Mines. Still 6:21 to play before halftime. We'll step aside, come back with more football from Buffalo Stadium after this timeout.
How do you make something that's already fresh even fresher? By adding fresh new things, like crisp pico de gallo for a little kick, and creamy cilantro lime sauce for that extra whoa. And pepper jack cheese because, of course, all on top of 2 fresh beef patties, or with chicken on a brioche bun. Whataburger's limited time pico de gallo burger and new pico de gallo chicken sandwiches. Good thing for fresh things. Good thing there's Whataburger.
Welcome back to Jay Ferg Field, and the Buffaloes with a 13-0 lead over the number 5 Orediggers from Colorado School of Mines. That was a 4-play drive. They only got 1 yard.
Yeah.
But they got that 40-yard field goal, and that is a huge confidence builder for the Buffaloes, knowing that kicking game is reliable and they can go to it with Gage anytime.
Kickoff is angled a little shorter this time, and fair caught by the Orediggers. So this is where Mines is going to come out. 6:21 before halftime. Obviously, they want to get some points on the board, and they're in a situation that they haven't been in.
No, they haven't this year. And again, their last football game that they had last week against Fort Lewis was a blowout. The starters only played the first half, didn't play in the second half.
76 points.
It was a 76-0 win. And so, again, this is their first real big test. And so far, the Buffaloes have come out ready to play in this one tonight.
Different set here with the 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, stacked tight. Matoka in the gun. They fake it to Zeman. It's a screen. Good blocking, but a really nice tackle at the end by, out in coverage, the outside linebacker, Eric Collins.
And that's the difference when you have an athletic linebacker like Eric, is he can go out in coverage, and a receiver's not going to get away from him. You know, a smaller defensive back, they may be able to juke a little bit or just push him with their strength, but not Eric Collins.
That was Tristan Smith on the catch. And a pickup of 1 yard. Broadcast tonight sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. And again, our game sponsor tonight, Carpet Tech. We appreciate everyone watching in tonight on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. It's 2nd down and long. Matoka pressured, steps up on the run, just couldn't get enough oomph on that pass there, and so that's credit to the Buffs' defensive rush.
It really is. Dylan Mata comes up and puts pressure on him, and so he, instead of trying to take off on the run, he just tries to throw it up the field, but short hopped it, trying to get it to his receiver, and that brings up another 3rd down and long. And again, the Colorado School Mines have not had this in their first 3 games where they've had 3rd down and long.
Buff fans making noise. Still a lot of time left. Enough time for WT to get the football back. Leading 13-0 right now. Matoka wants to get the 1st down. Has a man open. It's caught and spinning out of the tackles down the sideline. That's Josh Johnston down the far side of the field, I should say, as he's got yardage up to the 44-yard line. Big pickup of 18 yards. Well, they needed that.
Yeah, they did. And credit Johnson on a nice route that time, because he goes up from the near side of the field and then goes across the middle and is able to give a big target for his quarterback, and he's able to catch him as he's crossing across the middle.
Big pickup on 3rd down. On 1st down this time, Zeman goes up the middle, keeps his feet churning, and gains yardage to the 47-yard line. 3-yard pickup.
And Zeman so far in the ball game, 11 rushes, I should say, for 36 yards in the ball game so far.
WT obviously wants to get a defensive stop, but if Mines does go down the field and get any points out of this, go back and remember that 3rd down conversion with Johnston.
Absolutely.
Here's the shift. Extra offensive lineman over here on the near side. Matoka. They'll go up the middle with Zeman, the running back, and again, good yardage. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Nice open field stop by Gage Smith that time, who comes in from his safety position, but read the shift and came up, stepped up, and made the stop.
So another 3rd down, but this time Mines likes this situation. It's 3rd and short. Run behind that offensive line, or Matoka can keep it, look for his receivers. Matoka will keep it, but he's going to run it, and runs hard into Satchel Escalante down to the 40-yard line into Buff territory. Big pickup there for John Matoka.
And I think this has got to be a different game for him, because again, he's going to make it happen. He's going to move the offense, but he's probably taking shots tonight that he hasn't had all season long.
So on 1st and 10, clock continues to run at 3.5 minutes left, 2nd quarter. Matoka dives forward, and another good gain, at that time 8 yards for the quarterback.
So he's going to be their leading rusher here in the 1st half with those last 2 runs, or at least he's adding up to those rushing totals in this one tonight. And so again, they know they're keying on Zeman, and so he has to be the difference maker. That's why he's taking off on these runs, because the secondary is doing a fairly good job as far as keeping the wide receivers contained.
All right, Matoka gives it to Zeman. Another good run up the gut. And it's enough for the 1st down, I think, right to the 30-yard line. Should be.
Yeah, that's where they're telling him to move the chains. And so 2:53, 1st down. A nice one on this particular drive. And again, this is what Colorado School Mines is used to. Time-consuming drives, get several 1st downs. They just kind of pick away at you as they're going. And so, again, the Buffalo's wholesale substitutions here, as the referee's not stopping them. And WT's got to take a timeout. And he couldn't understand why they weren't coming up to stop him on the substitutions, because Mine made substitutions.
So it does force a timeout. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. Back in 60 seconds here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. Again, the Buffs make some more changes defensively as they get ready for this set.
Big 2:36 right here on the scoreboard before halftime. Matoka going to air it down the field, and the receiver cannot come up with the grab. Tight coverage by Tobias Harris. That was 3 versus 3 there. Max McLeod working down the field, and the throw just a little off, but again, good coverage.
It's not uncomfortable when there's tall receivers out there. He'll stick with them step for step that time, but he just wanted to make sure he got his point across that no matter where you're going, I'm going with you. So anticipate that tonight.
Again, the Buffs get several players off the sideline onto the field, and it's 2nd down and 10. Matoka shifts Zeman over to the right. Nice catch by the running back, and then he's taken down, hog-tied by J.T. Cavender after a nice gain. Clock will continue to run.
Yeah, it was a nice job by J.T. because he kind of got a late break on the running back, and so able to run him down from behind and take him out of bounds. Buffs, with their nickel package that time, brought in an extra defensive back. And so Ty Dillon comes in. Now Ty Dillon will come back out as they shuffle in some linebackers. And so they've been doing this now, shuffling in 5 and 6 players defensively. And so kind of changing the look defensively.
Slowing minds down.
Yeah, exactly.
3rd down and 4. They have picked up some critical 3rd down conversions on this drive. Tight end moves in motion from left to right. It's going to be a pass. Matoka again finds Zeman. Good catch, but did he go out of bounds before he got the 1st down? I think he did.
Yeah, his momentum carried him out of bounds because he had to go up to pull that pass in, and so he kind of skipped to drop his leg down so it'd be in bounds, and then stepped on out of bounds, so that'll bring up 4th down and 2. We anticipate Mines to go for it here, trailing 13-0 with 1:46 left to play. No, they may try for the field goal here.
Okay, so this is interesting here because Matthew Ike he made 10 PATs last week, okay,
right.
10 extra points in the big win, but he's only kicked 1 field goal. It was a 33-yarder, perfect on the season. This one will be 39 yards. The try from the right hash. And the leg kick is up, wobbly kick that is pushed to the left. Wow.
And it looked like he got off, and so you don't see this too often, and no official pulled a flag on it. But basically, before the snap of the ball, it looked like he started his movement toward his holder before the ball got there, and so it may have thrown his rhythm off a little bit. So 141, Mines had an opportunity.
Well, and let me make this correction real quick, Bryce. That's Jacob Click that attempted that kick, and I apologize because Matthew Ike is listed as the kicker. Click is the punter, number 0 there, Jacob Click, but 6'1", 200-pounder from Frisco. And so we had some interesting kicking things happen last week with Western New Mexico. Who knows tonight? But that was a missed opportunity. Here's Harris running hard down the side and dances out of bounds, close to a 1st down.
Well, it looked like he got it, but now the official marked it back to the 30-yard line. I thought he stayed in and was able to sidestep the tackler, but they'll mark him down at the 30, so a nice 8-yard gain on that run on the left side.
Clock does stop with 1:35. Buffs will stay on the ground. Harris, nowhere to go. That was good pursuit defensively. 3 jerseys back there in a hurry for the Orediggers, and the Buffs right now, they just want to get this 1st down and keep the clock, run out the clock before halftime.
That's what they're trying to do, is they bring in the Max pack. Max Perez comes in as the tight end on this set.
A reminder that at halftime, we'll have the Holiday Inn Express halftime show. Before we get to the festivities at halftime, Kent Johnson will visit with Hunter Hughes about this 1st half, and we'll also get a special look in and listen in tonight for the Sound of West Texas Buffalo Marching Band. So that'll be awesome to see that and hear the band perform. And then our halftime guest, Dr. Emily Hunt from Engineering Department. Here's Harris. A hole opens up. Khalil burst into the free there and is taken down just short of the 50-yard line. So a first down, and now everything changes for WT, and you're thinking, let's go score.
Your tempo goes up, so they're going to go without a huddle and get ready to snap this football. And so clock continues to run.
Offensive line gets set. And Gerber will look to throw. Nobody's open. Now he's got to run. A lot of green in front of Nick Gerber. A penalty marker is thrown behind the play, though, and so that could be holding.
It most likely is. It's going to go against the Buffaloes, and so that's what they're saying. Holding called on WT is Nick. Is the pocket collapse. He took off to his left and had a nice little gain, but again, they'll bring this one back and mark off the yardage. 22 seconds left to play here in the first half.
On the
Bucks
offense,
lead it
number 17.
13 to
10-yard
nothing.
penalty. Replay first down.
So they mark it back inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Now this may change what the Buffs want to do, as they may decide just to let the clock run. As Russ Martin was pointing to the clock to his quarterback, Nick Gerber, as they're sending in the play. And so, again, it stops, so they will have to obviously run a play, as they haven't even started the play clock yet.
So it is 1st and 20 here. And Gerber will take the knee, so Buffs playing it very safe here.
Buffs will get the football to start the second half, so you might as well go in with a nice lead, 13 to nothing, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
So here in just a little bit, we will have Kent Johnson down on the sideline with the halftime interview for Hunter Hughes. What a first half, though, here for the Buffs. They're going to have just close to 200 yards of total offense in the first half. Mines right now 149.
Yeah, the Buffs 193. So,
but the most important numbers is 13-0 right now. The score, West Texas A&M.
And again, we wanted them to come out and execute and go out and go after tonight. And so far, the Buffaloes have done that, as we now will get set to check in with Kent Johnson down on the sideline with head coach Hunter Hughes. Let's head down to Kent.
We're down here with head coach Hunter Hughes, and look out on the field. Your team playing with a lot of enthusiasm and intensity tonight. A 0 on the scoreboard for the visitors.
Well, you know, when you're playing a team as good as mine and coming in as number 5 in the country, you better be excited to play. If you don't get that opportunity to play in front of a great crowd like this, and we want to try to put on a show. And our defense is playing really good, and our offense hadn't hurt us. You know, they've scored, and wish we could score some more touchdowns, but we haven't had any turnovers, which is the key, and we've got one. So we've got to keep doing that.
Up until Mine's final drive, the entire first half was played Mine's into the field.
I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about the score. But as long as we score one more than they do, that's all I care about. So we're off to a good start.
We'll let you get on the locker room. That's Hunter Hughes. Buffs lead at 13-0. Let's go back upstairs. Lucas and Bryce.
Thanks so much, Kent. Okay, so we're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. When we come back, it's going to be the sound of West Texas Buffalo Marching Band. Halftime score 13-0. West Texas A&M leading, and we're back after this.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Aisle 16, Civilization 6.
Welcome to Shim Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shim Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shim Dental Group for your appointment today.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Back to Buffalo Stadium. The Buffs lead here at the half over Colorado School of Mines by a 13-0 score. Great first half for the Buffaloes. And obviously we've talked a lot about Colorado School of Mines and their engineering department, but West Texas has a pretty good engineering department as well, as Dr. Emily Hudd joins us here and talk a little bit about your program and what all you guys have going on here at West Texas A&M.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. I'm very excited. It's always fun for us to get to come and see our students playing as well. So the College of Engineering at WT is doing really well right now. Our programs in mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical, environmental, engineering technology, and computer science have all been doing very well. So actually at the graduate level, our master's program has doubled in the last year. So we're seeing growth at the graduate level, and that's exciting for us.
So why is it, do you think, that you are having that growth in the engineering department? And again, with people coming back working on their masters, what's out there, what's going on that they're kind of taking a look at?
So the field of engineering has been changing in the last few years, and instead of it being like, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I get a job and all I do is mechanical, it's becoming much more interdisciplinary. And so our master's degree offers engineers that are currently working the opportunity to come back and be more interdisciplinary. So I can come back and I can specialize in electrical engineering or environmental engineering, but really just get more of that broad base for other fields. It's just what's happening out there in the industry.
So when you say that, and what you're seeing is you're seeing professionals that are in the workforce that they've decided to come back and either work on a master's, work on a secondary master's, or something along that line, because they're wanting either to broaden their horizon, or there's a certain area that they want to really focus on.
Right. That's exactly what's happening. It's been great for us. We just started this master's program 2 years ago, and so to see this kind of growth is very encouraging for the future of our programs here at WT.
So are the programs, is everybody here on campus, or are they also in Amarillo, or are they going back and forth, or is it online? How are you looking at it?
So we have a mix.
Okay.
I would say before the last couple of years, most of our courses were all here on campus, but we've become much more flexible in the last couple of years, and so students have the opportunity to take courses online and in Amarillo, and primarily we're still here on campus.
Is that where you're seeing the growth, though, is with that online component, just because those who have been in the workplace 5, 10, 15 years are wanting to expand a little bit what they're doing, they're able to do it online and do it from home and instead of coming on campus?
Absolutely, yes. And we're seeing that we still have a large group of on-campus students, are more traditional, like come straight from a bachelor's degree into a master's degree. But for the workforce, yes, we're seeing a huge growth in that online component.
Again, that's the engineering department for West Texas A&M. And by the way, it's a family affair for the Hunt family, as Aaron Hunt also on staff here at WT. And again, we have a lot of students behind us tonight from the high school and colleges. And so it's for the FCA program. And so he's pretty active as well this time of year. And so keeping everything going. So what's next? What are you guys looking at as far as growth is concerned for the engineering department?
So the College of Engineering at WT is made up of engineering, computer science, and mathematics. And what we're seeing in the future is that all of these fields are converging into one. So students are really getting educated in this cross-disciplinary way that hasn't been happening so much in the past. So we're looking forward to it.
You're kind of looking at that there's a possibility that things are really going to expand for you.
Absolutely.
All right. Dr. Emily Hunt joins us here on the halftime, the Holiday Inn Express halftime show, I should say. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back. The Buffs lead this one by a count of 13-0. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Digital Network.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Well, welcome back to J. Ferg Field and Buffalo Stadium. And again, big thanks tonight to Dr. Emily Hunt coming up talking about our School of Engineering as well tonight and the things that they are doing and expanding upon. And we really appreciate the time. Kent Johnson joins us now as we take a look at that first half. And Kent, I think what kind of the Buffaloes set the tone from the early going, forcing a 3-and-out, having to have minds to punt, and then on the very next play when they got it offensively, connect on that 50-yard bomb. And so that really set the tone in the game tonight.
Well, it put the Buffs on top. It put Colorado Mines on their heels, and that's the way they played until their last series when they finally got some offensive momentum. But it also, when you give the first half numbers, kind of skewed the numbers because the Buffs' first series took one play and no time off the clock, so it's going to look like Colorado Mines outgained the Buffs and controlled the ball and all that, but that wasn't the case. WT controlled the ball on both sides of the line of scrimmage. The phrase that I kept hearing down on the sideline, hollered out on the field from the coaching staff, control the line of scrimmage, and I think for the most part, the Buffs did that. Now, that last drive by Mines, they started to establish the run some.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what their bread and butter has been all year long. They love to run the football. They want to take these long drives. And I think that's really a big hats off to the defense so far in the first half is they've not allowed them to get into that rhythm until that last drive. As we take a look at the stats, again, Colorado School of Mines has 149 total yards and 37 offensive plays. They've ran more offensive plays than the Buffaloes, but that goes back to what you said. In the very first series, the Buffs only had one play, and so they go they've had 26 plays, 193 yards. But I think what's been impressive so far for the Buffaloes, 80 yards on the ground at 67 for the Mines. That is where they want to move the football, is on the ground.
It's tough to come from behind when you run the football.
Yes.
But on the other side, I'm going to be yin and yang here.
Yes.
13 points is only 2 possessions.
Right.
So this is by no means over. Buffs need to maintain their composure. They need to maintain their intensity. There is a lot of enthusiasm on that field tonight. We saw it when Tobias Harris picked off that pass.
Well, absolutely. And again, that's one of the highlights we'll probably take a look at here a little bit later on. But the other side of that, you said it's only a two-possession game, basically, or a two-score game. And so that's why Hunter Hughes, when talking to you before going to the locker room, said, I wish we would have scored touchdowns instead of field goals. Yet, it's nice to have those field goals on the board to give us that 13-point lead.
Absolutely. And I go back to Well, the last 2 years, as a matter of fact, when I'm not going to say a field goal is a given now, but where sometimes we would go for it on fourth down rather than attempt a field goal. Now they've got confidence in the kicking game. We're not trying anything silly from 50 or 60 yards, but the ones that are inside of 40 are makeable, and we're making them.
Time of possession, that is big. Mine's usually they're one of the top teams in the country. They have it in the first half, 18-26 to 8:06 for the Buffs. But again, Buffs were able to store it quickly, so they didn't need to have the ball that long.
Yeah, I mean, the WT's playing well. Mine's, I'm sure, can play better than what we saw in the first half, and it's going to be an interesting second half.
Be interesting to see what kind of adjustments are going to make. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll do so. We'll come back. Buffs lead this one 13-0. We'll be back right after this.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Well, welcome back to Jay Ferg Field and Buffalo Stadium. The Buffs lead this one 13-0 at the half. And again, as we take a look at our first half highlights from tonight's ball game, and again, as we were just talking about, Kent Johnson, the Buffs defense hold, and then the very next possession offensively, it's a wonderful pass from Nick Gerber to Hunter Kaufman, and Hunter takes that into the end zone. There's a one-play drive, and the Buffs get on the scoreboard and lead this one 7-0 with the extra point. And that was only with a minute 40 gone in the game. Then again, defensively, WT putting pressure on the quarterback, come in for a sack on that particular play. Again, it's one of those where they have been able to put extra pressure on the quarterback tonight. So Machoka was not able to get going. Here's a nice run. And again, this is a run where it looked like that Compton was stopped, and then he just kept turning and spinning like a top, and then was able to get to the outside and picked up 40 yards on the carry there. And then here's another long run for the Buffaloes. Or check it. This is WT with a stop there defensively. And again, that has been the key tonight, trying to stop their run game, not allow anything to get going. And here's the interception. Tobias Harris times it perfectly, takes this one, returns it to the 20-yard line. The Buffs would settle for a field goal. And again, a big interception. This is not a team that turns it over very often. And so, again, big thanks to our crew for providing the highlights for this one tonight, as the Buffaloes, again, lead it by a count of 13-0. As we take a look at the halftime stats, the Buffaloes have 8 first downs, 10 for Colorado School of Mines. Rushing, the Colorado School of Mines have rushed it 22 times for 67 yards. The Buffs 16 times for 80. Through the air, 10 of 15 passing with that interception for Colorado School of Mines for 82 yards. The Buffs 5 of 10 passing for 113 yards. So 37 offensive plays for the Mines, 149 total yards in that first half. For the Buffaloes, 26 offensive plays, 193 yards. And I guess the third down conversions has been huge for the Mines, especially in that last drive, as they were able to get 5 of 10 third down conversions. The Buffs have only had 1 of 5 tonight. But again, they lead on the scoreboard 13-0. Khalil Harris has 8 rushes, 43 yards. Jared Compton 1 for 42. Michael Zeman has 13 carries for 43 yards. They lead in rushing. John Matocha has 10 of 15 passing for 82, while Nick Gerber is 5 of 10 for 113 and a touchdown. The Buffs will receive the second half kickoff as they dim and turn back on the lights for this one tonight, and that gets the crowd excited as we are ready for the second half of play here at J. Ferg Field. The Buffaloes lead it 13-0, and Lucas, we're ready for half number 2.
We are. What an exciting first half for the Buffs, and you can tell Hunter Hughes, he wants more offense, Bryce.
Yes.
He wants more offense. He knows this Mines team will not go down easily. The kickoff, a wobbly one, it's going to go out of bounds, and so that'll give the Buffs some good field position to start this third quarter. One of the players that stood out, Bryce, to me in the halftime statistics was actually on the defensive side, and that was our X-Bar Steakhouse X Factor of the game, JT Cavender. Have yourself a half, young man. 10 tackles.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 3 of those unassisted, too, to go along with that. And he can credit his linebacking mate, Cole Oster, who had 7 tackles. And it shows you how much the linebackers are getting involved in this contest here tonight.
So the Buff offense, see if they can have a good drive to start the second half. Rushing wise, Bryce was mentioning those stats. Khalil, 43 yards rushing on first down. He'll catch one out of the backfield, and thought he stepped out of bounds.
I thought he did too.
And the line judge was looking right down
at him, and he's going to go mark it where he stepped out of bounds. And so he just didn't blow the whistle, but that's exactly where he stepped out, was at the 36-yard line.
Short gain. Again, great pursuit. The Mines defense really just one big play.
Yeah.
Obviously the touchdown. They've really bent, but they haven't broken because of those field goals that they've allowed. But they've been pretty solid.
Yeah, they stiffened up after that one big play, and so they've adjusted their secondary to possibilities.
Good hole opened up there for Khalil down the sideline, and he's got a first down across midfield into Orediggers territory. And that is the Khalil Harris, Bryce, that we saw through the first 2 games. It's kind of strange last week, Western New Mexico. Maybe they were just really keying on Khalil because he did not have his best performance. No, felt like he was going to be determined.
He was very stifled in that ball game, and that's why I said I think he has something to prove in this one tonight.
So a good run there for Harris. They'll give it to him again, but this time he can't go anywhere.
And that really goes back to the quarterback. Nick's got to read that one better. And again, it wasn't an RPO.
Gabriel
it was a handoff all the way. But it's one where Nick's got to look at it and see that they're collapsing. They want to go to the right side that time. There's no opening, and so he's just got to pull the ball back and either take off with it himself or just pull it and throw it to the sideline out of bounds.
Like Gabriel Courts was in the Buffs huddle that time and knew where the play was coming. Good play for number 42. They give it to Harris again, trying the right side, and again Courts is the first man through. That linebacker makes a good play and then helps Harris up, and so it's going to force a third down and 11, just a gain of 2 that time for Khalil. He's a little tired. He's going to come out, and we're going to see Jared Compton. We haven't seen yet, Bryce. Thought we might see a little earlier into the contest, Big Red, Marcus Lindsay.
And I think they like Marcus.
He's like the closer?
Yeah, I think so, really, to be honest with you. Kind of that Jordan Johnson role the last few years.
Of course, talking about Lindsay, the 220-pound junior transfer from Colorado State Pueblo, who has been doing good, averaging 10 yards a run. Here's Gerber, throws out to Compton, and Jared stays in bounds. And he's got enough for a first down.
I was going to see where he marked.
Well,
it's going to be about a yard short, about half a yard short. So now this will be a decision time for the Buffaloes. They're in Orediggers territory at the 39-yard line, and it's not much of a decision. And
this was close.
Marcus Lindsay comes in the backfield in this one.
You see Compton, he was hit and just stepped out of bounds just short. So Lindsay will be the running back. 6 men, now 7 men on the line of scrimmage for Mines. Lindsay makes the first man miss. Thought he had the spot.
Boy, he does if it's this official, but if it's the far side official, it wasn't. Well, the Buffs are saying they got it. And
Mines is saying, no, you didn't. And so
they may have to measure this.
This might be time for the chains.
Well,
if we got to look at that one, we might see. I thought Lindsay, because he made that first man miss and he still plunged forward, I thought he was going to have the spot enough to get just 1 yard.
Just didn't get a favorable spot on this one, and so based on where that is, right at the moment, it's going to be short. So the officials are going to go over and measure this one.
You wonder if if they called a knee down early. Here's a look at it.
We watched the play here. And again, he powers forward.
And where the ball is.
The ball falls forward. That's what I mean. He just didn't get a good spot on that at all.
It looked like he got easily to the 38-yard line.
It looked like he did. And that's what I think Nick Gerber's asking the official right now is why? Because it's going to be short.
It is just short.
It's going to be the nose of the football short. And so Mines able to hold on that one. But I go back to say that was not a good spot at all. And so we've seen a couple of these tonight by the officials on these spots that haven't necessarily been
for
really
Mines
good.
as well.
Yeah,
on the other
it's
side.
been in both ways. And so, I just, this crew hasn't really done a good job.
Now you got to turn around quickly, Buffs defense, because momentum change going to Colorado School of Mines is a big chain measurement that goes in favor of the Orediggers. Matoka will throw. Zeman's been open all night. He catches this one, breaks 2 tackles, stays in bounds. Zeman, what a run after the catch for a big play. And so that's what you're worried about if you're WT is the momentum shift. Mines gets the ball. They stop you on 4th down, and now they're going.
And that was one where the safety came on a blitz, a late blitz that time. So that opened up that area for the running back to Zeman for him to go to. And so he was able to fill a void that was there by the safety coming up. And so that's why that pass really worked well for the Colorado School of Mines.
Matoka has been very efficient tonight.
Yes.
Only missed on a few passes. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw again. Sets in the pocket, throws down the field, and a little too high for the intended receiver that time down the right side, which was Max McLeod. And Max comes up, he comes up limping.
Yeah, he'll go the sideline, and again, our number 3, Tobias Harris, was with him step for step, and really forced that throw to be higher than probably what the quarterback wanted to do. Pacheco was looking and just really had to put some air under it.
It's one thing the Buff secondary has done good so far is these receivers from Mines, they're getting catches, but the yardage totals are not very big. As the leading receiver's 27 yards, Josh Johnston. This one will go up the middle.
Again, credit Gage Smith coming up to make the stop as he came up to the line that time and was kind of filling a running lane, and he stayed his ground and took out Zeman when he came near him and took him down for just a couple-yard gain on that one.
So it's 3rd down and 7. Big 3rd down here for both sides. Mines has definitely been the better team on 3rd down tonight. 5 of 10 for the Orediggers. Buffs just 1 of 6. Receiver comes in motion for John Matoka. He's going to run it, and Matoka with some speed has the 1st down and then some. And look at him at the end of that run. John Matoka, you talk about a guy that you can get behind as your leader into the run. Safety takes him on.
Yeah, he took him on down the field, and again, one of those that was there to answer back was Tobias Harris, who came up and said, "Don't come my way next time because I'm going to put you on the turf." And so, again, nice run by the quarterback. Again, that's what we talked about. Probably some of the changes they made during the halftime is let's get the quarterback more involved in the run game because they're keying on Zeman.
Now Mines is 6 of 11 on 3rd downs tonight. And this time they are able to get to the quarterback. Was that Jalen Hill? No, it was Smith, number 96, that shoots through for the Buffaloes defensively.
Man, I thought he had an open lane that time. And so as we look at the replay here again, it looks like he has a big open lane. And as he takes off, Jalen fends off his blocker and then just slides down and makes the stop. Or not Jalen, but Smith on that one.
Yeah, and Michael Smith, that's one where if the lineman just holds onto the block for one more second, Matoka is probably running free. 2nd down and long. Trying to get pressure again. Matoka steps up, throws, and it's complete. And the Buffs miss the tackle, and it's a 1st down. And they cannot do that right there. That looks like, Bryce, what we saw 2 weeks ago in Odessa.
Yeah, and that's Ty Dillon that time. And so Ty's had a great ball game, but that time he just tried to make the Olay sweep with his hands at the feet. It came up empty. Thankfully, Eric Collins was there to wrap him up and take him down, but not before he got another 1st down.
So the drive continues for the Orediggers. have not scored yet tonight, but they are getting close here in the red zone. Zeman finds a big hole around the outside, is taken down. Good tackle by Gage Smith, but not before he gets to the 9-yard line. 8-yard run, and they can still pick up a first down at 2nd down and 2 here. Best looking drive they've had all night.
It by far is. They had a nice drive right before the end of the half, but this is the best one. You're absolutely right. And that time a big opening on the left side for Zeman to run to.
They'll change the play again. They've done this a lot tonight where Matoka comes up and signals out the change. Wanted to throw it out to Zeman. He does, and it's a good tackle made by Escalante as he had a receiver blocking him.
Boy, and if I'm Escalante, I'm going back to the official and say, hey, I was trying to go around the guy and he grabbed my jersey. That should have been a holding penalty. And again, he did a nice job just to fight it off. Watch this. You can see right here. Here's the hold. They got him, and he still makes the tackle.
It's a great effort by number 28, Escalante. So here we are again, 3rd down. And this may be 2-down territory anyway for Mines, the way the last field goal attempt went. Zeman is going to find the crease on the outside, pick up the first down, and then carry defenders.
He is so hard to bring down, though, and that's why he's been such a good running back this year, averaging 111 yards per ball game. And so before that run, he had 67 on the ground. And so, again, just hard to stop.
1st and goal for the Orediggers, trying to cut into this WT 13-0 lead. And this time it's not going to work. They brought in a new running back, Nathan Mackey.
And he had nowhere to go. And he was a late change that they made. I think they thought Zeman was kind of tired, so he went to the sideline, and they brought Mackey in, and he just didn't feel comfortable out there when he got that set.
Taylor Hickerson in on the stop for the Buffaloes.
So they rotate in a tight end this time, and they rotated out an offensive lineman who lined up as a tight end.
Yeah, Isaiah Kroll, number 84, redshirt freshman. I think if you're Mines, you got to put the ball in Matoka's hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run or pass. It'll be the running back again, and this time they get in. Touchdown Orediggers. They went right back to Nathan Mackey. This time went to the left side of the line, and that is the Orediggers' first points on the board tonight.
Well, and again, this is the number 5 team in the country. They average 49 yards a ball game, and so we knew we were going to keep 49 points a ball game. Knew we were going to keep them out of the end zone, but again, it's taken to the 3rd quarter. 6:43 left to play for them to get into the end zone.
And it's Jacob Click again, who will come on and kick this extra point, and it's good. So Mines cuts into the lead after getting that measurement in favor of the Orediggers. An impressive drive. They go down and put 7 points on the board. 13-7 Buffs on top by 6. And we're back after this timeout. This is the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition? That we work for you, dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
That's the kind of drive the Orediggers are used to, and they have all season long, as they go on a 11-play, 67-yard drive. They cap it off with Nathan Mackey, the backup running back, comes in and takes it in from 4 yards out. And with the extra point, that cuts the WT lead to 13-7. And again, I think that's what the coaching staff for the Orediggers have been trying to build toward in this ball game, is get back to what they do those sustained drives, and they got exactly what they wanted that time.
Be nice if WT could get the ball in the hands of Heston Marshall. He's back to return the kickoff along with Hunter Kaufman. Last kickoff went out of bounds to start the third quarter. This one angled again, and same result.
Yeah, it's going to be out of bounds. And so, oh, there's a late hit out of bounds on a personal. That could be a personal foul penalty as well. So let's see as the officials get together. So it went out of bounds, so that's one penalty. And so then that late hit out of bounds. And so let's let the officials sort this one out here. Hunter Hughes is out there wanting to know what's going on.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball is placed at the 35-yard line for the result of the play. After the play, personal foul on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty, first down from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. Obviously, there was a lot of pushing and shoving going on the near sideline when the official threw that flag. And so, again, that's a judgment determination. And the official said that he felt it was against WT. And so they made that penalty. And so we move it back 15 yards.
Yeah, Hunter Hughes, saw him come to the sideline and find the young man that had made that play. This is a fumble, and it's just going to be Mines football. It is. Brandon Blair on the carry, and a lot of pushing and shoving going on right now after the play. Helmet came off, all kinds of activity, but what happened is the ball popped loose, and the Orediggers all of a sudden have the football, and they have all the momentum.
Well, Brandon Blair on the carry that time goes off the right side of the line, and then as he was going down, I thought he was down first. As we watch the replay here, as Brandon comes on the near sideline.
Rolling on the field with a fumble, recovered by the defense.
Did come out before.
First down.
That was a nice hit in the open field, and the man that made the hit comes up with a recovery. And with that is Kobe Brewster. And again, he's had a busy night tonight.
Hard hitter. Good job on the replay there from our Thunder Vision production crew.
So great field position for the Orediggers.
Matoka steps up in the pocket. Now runs a lot of room at the 15-yard line. Stays in bounds, and Matoka is going to be in the end zone. Touchdown, or did they say he stepped out?
He stepped out at the 3.
That was close there. I thought he had managed to stay in, and he did get across the goal line, but the line judge says he stepped out at the 3-yard line. He is a magician.
Rolling on the field. The runner stepped out of bounds prior to the goal.
And so, and again, it's one of those that we talked about earlier. It doesn't lose composure. He just kind of reads the entire field, saw the running lane, and took off and went that time. And then as we see, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the officials got that one right as we watched and saw that he did step out of bounds at the 3.
So first and goal. And Zeman going to take this carry. It's not there initially, and he stopped. Good surge by that defensive line. Smith and also Dylan Mata. And so it's tightening up. The two teams have been trading some blows back and forth, and now it's getting a little chippy.
Well, and all the momentum, obviously, in the first half was all for WT. And so now this is where you kind of really dig deep from a defensive standpoint, as it feels like the momentum has shifted over in favor of the Orediggers.
Tight end goes in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it. Quarterback is in. Cakewalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Orediggers, with the quarterback, John Matoka, hitting pay dirt there. And we are tied now, 13-13, with the extra point coming from the Orediggers. And right now, if you're WT, they have got to get their confidence back.
Well, they got to get their focus back, too.
Yeah.
And so we lost. You know, they got in on that last drive. They had that long drive and got in, so the defense was out there a long time. And then the Buffaloes fumble it away immediately. And so the defense really didn't get much of a break. And so they're back out there for another drive. And so, again, now it's the lead for the Orediggers, 14-13.
14 unanswered points here in the third quarter by the Orediggers. We'll take a timeout and come back with the kickoff from Buffalo Stadium right after this.
Bud Light, proudly brewed.
A smile is understood in any language. It represents joy, love, and shows you care. At Full Smile Dental, our mission is to build lifelong relationships one smile at a time by providing accessible, compassionate, quality care with the personal touch of friendship. Come see us at Full Smile Dental, located in Canyon, Amarillo, Dumas, and Dalhart, and ask us about our free Whitening for Life program.
And welcome back to J. Ferg Field as we watch the festivities down on the field. And again, credit the Orediggers as they are the beneficiary of the first miscue of the ball game for the WT Buffaloes. That was a fumble, and so the Orediggers able to take a short field and take it in on a nice drive. They cap it off with a John Matoka touchdown run from 3 yards out. The extra point is good. They have their first lead of the ball game with 5:27 left to play, and so now the momentum shifts, and so the Buffaloes have got to find something to try to get their offense back going, because as you talked about, other than that opening drive that we had where we scored on the opening play of the ball game for the Buffaloes, the offense has kind of been stymied a little bit by the Orediggers tonight.
Yeah, momentum with the visitors from Golden, Colorado. And this kickoff, again, they're just angling it to that side. This time it will be returned. Heston Marshall tripped up. Good defensive special teams play as they stop him right at the 20-yard line. And for WT, it's just offensively, they have stalled. And really, it even goes back to the end of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we saw that last week, too, against Western New Mexico, when New Mexico kind of made a game of it, cut the lead. And so that's when Hunter Hughes went over the offense and said, hey, you guys haven't done anything all game. It's time for you to step up and make some things happen.
Khalil Harris, the running back, set to the left on first down. It's going to be a carry for Harris. He bounces it to the outside. This is coming back, though. It's a holding.
And so the official is looking at Carnbay. And at the end of the first half, the official was talking to Carnbay about his hands.
Okay.
And so that one, it looks like it's going to be a holding penalty against him.
Holding on the offense, number 17, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So Jeremy Carnbay, the official was talking to him at the end of the half when they were walking toward the locker room, and he's, again, confused by what the holding penalty was. And I think he's telling him he's getting his hands outside the numbers. He's not keeping them inside the numbers, and that's why that penalty was called.
So now they back up, and it's 1st and 20. Gerber throws off his back foot. Carnbay makes the catch and is lit up at the end of the play. And again, it's number 8, Kobe Brewster. I go back to this. He's 5'10", 180, and he just took on Jeremy Carnbay, who is 6'4", 240 pounds.
One of the things that we talked about in the beginning of the ball game tonight, watching these guys warm up and work out a little bit, they are physically fit. They've been in the locker room, they've been in the weight room, they've been lifting, and you can see it on these guys that they're not overly heavy. They're just really fit, and they're showing that out on the field right now.
There's a gain of 5 on the pass completion to Carnbay, and the Buffs will throw again on second down and long. Gerber escapes the pocket, needs to pick up a block, gets it. He's down the sideline, and Nick will step out after picking up a first down. Credit Maxwell Perez with that last block that he needed.
That was a nice block by Max Perez, and again, did everything what you're supposed to as he squares up, shoulders up, and then throws the block that Nick Gerber had, and you can watch it right here as Nick's right there, and he's looking at him all the way, throws the block, and gets him the first down. 1st and 10 at the 33.
And just to get that first down, and a little sigh of relief for the Buffs offense. Harris tripped up, going to lose yardage.
They are getting good penetration.
They are.
Again, their front 3, front 4, because sometimes what they're doing is they're bringing a linebacker up, and in this particular case, that was what helped push to get to Khalil Harris and trip him up for a 2-yard loss, actually.
Zach Hester, 6'3", 225-pound junior defensive end, who last week blocked a punt in the win at Fort Lewis. 2nd down and 12 now for the Buffs. Good protection for Gerber, and pass is complete to Tipton. This is coming back. Tyree is just can't get excited about that one because they're going to call another holding penalty here on the Buffs.
And that
penalty's adding up.
And it looks like that one is going to be on Parker Hanna.
Holding
He's asking, what
on the
are you
offense,
calling?
number 55. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
You see offensive line coach down there, Jack Harris. He's not happy about it.
So
let's look at it again.
Look at Parker Hanna on the left-hand side. And that guy tried to bull rush him, and he just took him down to the turf. I really don't see what that penalty was. I think, and of course, Parker's been playing for so many years. That's why he's confused as well, because that was the guy trying to do a bull rush, coming at him, going at his ankles, and he just took him down to the turf. And so you can't call holding when he goes underneath the offensive lineman.
Each team only had one penalty at halftime. Running play to Harris, and the hole opens up, and Khalil bounces forward. Looked like he was at the 30-yard line. They're going to say his knee was down at the 29, so that's a big pickup there because it was 2nd and 22. Now it's 3rd and 9, 11-yard run for Harris.
Yeah, nice job to get that one out. Got it up to the 34, and so again, nice little misdirection offensively for the Buffs that time, and Khalil opposite direction of where everybody else was going.
3rd and long for West Texas A&M. They've struggled on 3rd down tonight. Gerber chased and just has to jump dish this thing out of bounds to avoid an even bigger loss of a sack there. So heads up play by Gerber, but again, Mines brings pressure, and that time WT does not pick it up, and he really didn't have a receiver out there.
No, he didn't have anybody out there, but he got outside the tackle box, and so he just throws it out of bounds. And again, go back to what Hunter Hughes talked about in the pregame. He said this team is well disciplined. These guys are really well organized in how they want to do things. And so again, I think the Buffaloes threw them for a big curve here early in the ball game tonight, and they've adjusted. Now are adapting to what the Buffs are doing.
Welch angles it off the side of his foot. Not as good of a punt, but still gets into Orediggers territory. Let's see where they mark the football out. Right now, Mines coaching staff fired up, players fired up.
Yeah, this is turned into the ball game they won, and so again, you know, they were talking about, Coach Brandon was talking about, they haven't really faced this kind of team so far this year, so they are finding somebody that they match up pretty evenly with, and so they've had to work their way back, but they do have the lead 14-13 over the Buffaloes with 2:08 left to play here in the 3rd.
John Matoka, he has been good tonight, 13 of 19 passing. Hands it off to Zeman. Zeman started left, comes back right. Zeman breaking tackles at midfield, still on his feet, and Zeman with a huge chunk run
And
there.
what's bad about that, coming up to make the stop was Dylan Mata. Now he's on the defensive line, and so that means he had to circle back after surging forward, had to circle back and try to run the running back down because we Olayed a couple of times and just missed. As you see here, here's one Olay we missed trying to ankle tackle. There's another right there, and then again he just chews up yardage.
Matoka, another missed tackle at the end. Gage Smith comes up and cleans up after a run of 8 yards, but it's getting sloppy defensively for WT at this point. And if you're a Mines fan, you're saying this is what we're accustomed to seeing and what we thought we would see.
Absolutely. This is what they're used to. They're, like I said, a well-schooled team, and so again, that's one of those where they've got all the momentum going here in this 3rd quarter.
We're going to check on Satchel Escalante. We'll step aside, take a short timeout. We'll be right back with more from Buffalo Stadium after these messages.
Welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. It is 2nd down and 2 for the Orediggers, and Lucas, we are beginning to see why this team is ranked number 5 in the country, as they have settled into what they want to do offensively, and obviously their defense has gone after us offensively, and so again, that's why they're ranked as high as they are.
They are. Zeman's getting comfortable. He's going to get a breather right now as they're going to bring in one of the backup running backs. Is it Nathan Mackey? Back with Matoka, second and short. Mackey takes the carry. Patient running. Hole opens up. A little extra shove at the end of that one on a pancake block from Justin Wood. And this offensive line mashing defenders.
Preston Suzuki comes up to make the stop on that one. And
well, that's not good. JT Cavender holding his arm.
Way to the sideline. Yeah, he took, I think the angle on that one, he just took a helmet to his right arm that time, and so he's going to come over and get checked out as the Buffs bring in wholesale substitutions. And again, trying to keep everybody fresh as they possibly can against this Orediggers team that is, again, really well conditioned and ready to play.
Under a minute left here at the end of the third quarter. Buffs trail by 1, 14-13. With this momentum that Colorado School of Mines has, it seems like it's a 2-score deficit, but it's not. It's 1 point. Close to movement up front, and the handoff goes over the left side across the 25 to the 24. It looked like someone flinched just a little.
Yeah, and that, again, you know, that's we're the home team, and so we should be able to benefit from some of those calls that aren't being made tonight. And again, Coach Hughes talked about this team does not make mistakes.
Yeah.
They have not caused really any big penalties to hurt them so far in the ball game.
They've gotten the running game going with Zeman and Matoka.
19 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Good running by Zeman, and look at him carry the pile up to the 21-yard line. So a 3-yard run. It's going to set up a crucial 3rd down and short after we take a timeout, as we've reached the end of the third quarter, and it is a close game. Don't go anywhere. The score 14-13. Colorado School of Mines with the lead over the Buffaloes. And we're back after these messages on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, welcome back as we get set for quarter number 4 here at Buffalo Stadium. The Buffs trail 14-13 to the number 5 team in the country, Colorado School of Mines. And that third quarter was all Colorado School of Mines, as they were able to really move their offense at will. Defense played great. And so it's one of those where the Buffaloes are just now struggling to find a way to stop this offense, who is definitely in rhythm here in the second half.
Yeah, if you're WT defense, tighten up here. Even if you hold them to a field goal, you're still in a very close game. 3rd down and short. They're going to run it with Zeman or keep it with Matoka. It's Zeman, right side, and he reaches across to try to get the first down. He's down at the 19-yard line. I think he needed to get to the 18, so it's 4th down and a yard, and no hesitation here. And I don't blame head coach Greg Brandon for going for it.
No, I mean, they've been so successful on 4th down, and they feel really good about their offense right now. And so you anticipate it's going to be Zeman again. He's just going to try to take it up the middle, or again, they run basically 8 men on the offensive line.
Zeman has it. 1st down, Mines.
And again, that's when you have all those big bodies up there, he's just looking for an open running lane. And all he's going to do is where he finds it, you know, it's designed to go to one side or the other. He went to the left side that time, and he's just looking for an open running lane. And then once he sees it, he's just going to dive forward. He only needs a half a yard, and that was easy to get.
Yeah, Zeman has really gotten better as the game has gone on. He's now close to, oh, he is over 100 yards. The stats are a little behind, and so he's having himself a nice game. Zeman starts left, cuts up the middle, and again trying to carry the pile. Good job at the bottom of that mess there by Eric Collins, and also number 23, that is Terrence Clark. But that's the thing with Zeman, it's going to take 2 and 3 defenders to bring him down.
Yeah, again, he's like a bowling ball, and again, you're trying to stop a bowling ball that's, you know, been in rhythm all here in the second half very well. And so, again, he stays low to the ground like his coach talked about, and he's just hard to tackle.
And still, that was a run of 5 yards for Michael Zeman, senior out of Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Matoka is going to be taken down for a big sack. Thrown to the turf. Xavier Rivera, also Cole Oster was back there, and that was one of the times tonight where they just simply did not let Matoka get outside where he could get comfortable running.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once he gets to the outside, the pocket breaks down, he's able to roll out, and so then he just takes off because he has a lot of running lanes. The Buffs kept him in that time. There was nowhere to go. He tried to zero back to the middle, and that's when he was taken down by the X-Man.
All right, here we go. Said this a few times tonight. Critical third down, 3rd and 9. Matoka. Good protection. Receiver open. Catch is made, and a first down. I think he's got the first down easily
he
up
really
to the 5-yard line.
Because that was just determination that
Tristan
time
Smith.
by Smith, as once he came on a crossing pattern, came from the right side, went over the middle to the left, and then he knew where he needed to get, and so he saw that he has a smaller man on him, and so he just kind of lowered his shoulder, took him on, and moved him forward to pick up the first down.
The Buffs late getting a 11th player on the field, Dylan Mata. Tired bodies.
Yeah. The defense is really tired. That time of possession, much favor of the Orediggers.
Wide open receiver, touchdown, Orediggers. Josh Johnston. WT thought the Mines was running, and instead
so
a receiver was open.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody else here in the stadium did too, and that's where they pulled the pass out that they haven't thrown all night long. And so, again, he is in the slot, and he just goes up and then across the back end of the end zone, and nobody picks him up. They let him go, and he's able to get in for the easy score.
So an extra point coming for Jacob Click. Booming leg in that one, and an important extra point because it is an 8-point advantage. Buffs trailing 21-13. They led 13-0 at halftime. Second half, it's been all Orediggers. But WT still with a lot of time. 11:37 left to play in the ball game. We're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs! Well, the second half has been what the Orediggers have needed offensively as they go on a long 11-play drive that covers 65 yards, takes 5 minutes, 13 seconds off the clock. That's what they're used to all season long, just wearing out defenses, and they get into the end zone and take a 21-13 lead.
Hunter Kaufman taken down. It's a great special teams play there, as it was Denver Hargrove, a strong safety out of Buena Vista, Colorado.
He's the one that has been mixing it up with Tobias Harris on the punts tonight. And so you back up what you say, and he just did then right there. As the Buffs again, long field position, they have not had good returns tonight, and so they'll have it at the 26-yard line.
Makes you wonder what was said at halftime in the Mines locker room, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They made the corrections they needed to.
On first down, Gerber wants to throw. Good protection. He's going to air it down the field. Dangerous pass here because there's 2 players in coverage down there with Noah Bogardus, and thank goodness Nick Gerber heaved that thing down there where nobody could catch it. Incomplete.
Well, again, you've got to be aware of how the field is set up. At that time, there was 2 and almost 3 defenders that were with Noah almost step for step. In fact, they were in front of him, and so just nowhere to throw that football.
Mentioned the rushing of Mines, 110 yards for the running back, 58 for the quarterback. Here's Khalil Harris. He is tied up short of the 30-yard line, so again a short gain.
Had an opening for a moment, and then coming up to make the stop, Bo Collins, one of the linebackers. And Bo just read that lane perfectly, came up and kept it to a 3-yard gain.
Collins, a junior out of Dripping Springs, Texas.
41 players from Texas on this Mines roster.
And we heard that a lot of the families are going to be making the drive.
Yeah, including one from Amarillo High that's on the roster as well.
That is true. They back up, don't apply the pressure. Gerber wanting to go for Bogardus, and all kinds of contact. He was not able to get free and try to make an attempt at that ball, but the official sees it as really good coverage by the corner or safety that time, Brewster. He's been a guy that has had a fantastic game here tonight. Kobe Brewster, number 8, senior out of Ardmore.
Yeah, he really has played well. And so this is one of those, again, we were talking about our players stepping up in this one. Well, they have the same thing going on their side of the football as well. And Brewster is definitely one of those that stepped up big in tonight's ball game.
So at halftime, WT had 8 first downs. They have only 2 in the second half. The punt is out of bounds, and Mines should have good field position. They marked this ball up to the 35-yard line, and we've got a timeout. Buffs have got to figure some things out right now. Mines in control, leading 21-13 with 10:37 left to play in the fourth quarter. We're back after these messages.
This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular Team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. Buffalo's trail 21-13, and after a punt that was marked out of bounds at the 35-yard line, again, the Buff defense, they're kind of tired. They've been out there a long time in this ball game, and so they're out there once again.
Attendance announced this evening, 7,398 fans. A lot, most of those fans obviously in maroon and white, and they are on their feet across the way. The maroon platoon is waiting for a big play from the Buffs to get back in this game.
Time of possession, 28 minutes to 18 minutes.
Zeman again runs through 1 tackle, 2 tackles. He's going to get 9 yards on that run right there.
That's what has been their bread and butter here in the second half, just going with Zeman off right tackle, off left tackle. And again, the Buffs have not trying to change their defense to advance or to answer for it, because you can, because again, the quarterback then will take off on a run.
Clock down to 10 minutes remaining. And again, it's a run. And again, Zeman is still trying to get loose. He had somebody on the bottom just holding on for dear life, and it was Cole Oster. It's enough for the first down, just barely, and so move the chains again for Mines. what they would like to do here, Colorado School of Mines, is
just run the clock out.
Exactly.
They just want to run the football and run the clock out. And the Buffs, you can't be lulled into sleep anticipating that, but you like to see them put 8 or 9 in the box because they anticipate that's what they're going to do. But yet at the same time, this quarterback will lull you to sleep and then throw one over the top.
Matoka out of the gun, fakes it and keeps it, and picks up good yardage as he runs into Satchel Escalante. Gain of 3 for Matoka.
They walked Satchel up to the line that time again from that safety position, and again his job was to watch the quarterback in case he does come out to that side, and he was there, stood his ground, and was able to take him and keep him to a 3-yard gain.
In the first half, Mines was only averaging 3.5 yards per carry. And right now 4.4, and a big reason for that, Michael Zeman, 120 rushing yards. Matoka keeps it across midfield, spins. Another first down for the Orediggers, down to the 37-yard line.
And right now, WT is really just poor tackling out there as well. I know it was primarily because they're just fatigued. They've been out there for so long that they just are running out of oxygen, and so Matoka taking advantage of it, got to the outside, and he spins away from trouble and then picks up another first down.
And this is where you'll see Matoka. Obviously, eyes will be up on that play clock. Probably won't snap it till it's close to 5 seconds. Zeman stopped initially and still tried to make something out of nothing, but good gang tackling that time. Jalen Hill probably be credited for the tackle for West Texas A&M.
I think Zeman's going to go out. He seems a little fatigued after that hit by Hill.
He's had 25 carries tonight.
And again, one of the things they're doing is rotating in extra linemen. They'll run, instead of a tight end, they'll run with an extra tackle or guard that'll come out. And again, they kind of straighten that out so they can go with the running game.
Here's 2nd down and 10. It's a pass play. And a big play for the Buffaloes. They're
Tobias Harris, who came on a safety blitz that time, and Tobias just timed it perfectly because Pacheco was looking to his left and came in and made the hit.
Yeah, they needed something there, and so it's going to be a 3rd down and long. They spot the football all the way back to the 45-yard line.
6:54 left to play. Time is obviously of the essence for the Buffaloes.
The sack credited as a loss of 8 yards there, and this is where, Mines, even on 3rd and long, they've been good. They just have been solid. Absolutely. On 3rd down, 8 of 14.
Absolutely.
On the other side, the Buffs 1 of 8 on 3rd down. Matoka wants to throw. It's a screen pass, and Zeman just couldn't get it there. Too many bodies all gathered up, bunched up there, and it's an incomplete pass. Brings up 4th down, and so
Jalen Hill coming in on that one that time and put pressure on him. He had to get rid of it before they could get set up.
So WT defense does its job.
And the referee comes over and talks to Jalen. I'm not sure.
His dance a little.
It's whatever. But
flagrant dance.
Maybe. Could be.
Harris back to receive this punt if he can get his hands on it. Calls for fair catch, and now he'll just down it close to the 15-yard line. Buffs offense will come on the field after this timeout. 6 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the ball game, and WT time to get that offense going. We're back after this here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
How do you make something that's already fresh even fresher? By adding fresh new things, like crisp pico de gallo for a little kick, and creamy cilantro lime sauce for that extra whoa, and pepper jack cheese because, of course, all on top of 2 fresh beef patties, or with chicken on a brioche bun. Whataburger's limited time pico de gallo burger and new pico de gallo chicken sandwiches. Good thing for fresh things. Good thing there's Whataburger.
21-13, Buffalo's trail here with the football. And again, time of possession much in favor of the Orediggers. 33 minutes and 2 seconds to 18 minutes for the Buffalo's offense, which means the defense has been out there a long time, and the offense has been standing on the sideline just watching the defense play.
Yeah, this Oredigger defense has really tightened up. The offense has gotten the run game going, and that's exactly what Greg Brandon wanted to see tonight. He didn't see it in the first half. He has seen it all second half. Pass caught on the outside by Noah Bogardus. Sure tackle made immediately.
And the thing about it is he was one-on-one coverage, but once that Nick set his feet and was looking to Bogardus' side of the field, 3 other defenders came over. They peeled off and came over, and they were there to make the stop had the initial tackle hadn't been there.
It's Noah's 3rd catch of the game. The good tackle made by Mason Pierce. 2nd down and short. Harris puts his foot in the ground and gets a good hard run, and it's been a while since the Buffs have had a running play look like that.
Got out to the 30-yard line, picks up a 1st down. That moves the chains, and it's exactly what WT needs offensively right now.
You know, Harris, after that run, he'll be up to 80 yards rushing at 43 at halftime. Now 15 carries, 82 yards. They get to the running back, and in the middle, Tipton makes the catch and then somehow escapes traffic. Hang on to the ball, Tyree, and that's going to be a 1st down. And at the end of the play, I tell you what, WT is fortunate that they didn't get a penalty, as Jacoby Lott came in and cleaned up the pile.
Came in to make sure that he got some guys out of the way. Again, credit Tyree as he keeps going right here, and then here comes Jacoby right here.
All right, on 1st down, Gerber looking, releases, thrown high and intercepted. It went through 3-4 different players, and who comes up with it? Kobe Brewster on the interception.
Well, and again, it's one of those two where Nick did not get his feet set, had pressure on him, and it's, again, hindsight's always easy, but it's one where you can't step into it, and so it's better to throw. As he tries to scramble to the near side, he can't go anywhere.
Just too high.
Just overshot his intended target, and then try to keep it alive as a Buffalo player, which
if he doesn't, it's probably incomplete.
Your intention is you want to go after it, but it should have just been knocked down to the turf. So what looked like a promising drive turns into another miscue for the Buffaloes.
So now you ask that defense to come back out and get a stop. The only difference this time is you got to get a stop now.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 minutes and 43 seconds left in this ball game. Matoka, a 1st down. Zeman runs hard, taken down by Xavier Rivera after a 2-yard pickup.
This, again, as you just alluded to, is where the clock becomes your enemy.
And they stop the clock momentarily as Rivera, who made the tackle, is slow to get up. So this will be interesting here. Hopefully he's okay. He's had a good game tonight, Xavier Rivera.
Yeah, a lot of concern, actually, as the Buffs all head out there. Head coach Hunter Hughes, and it's one of those where he wrapped him up and it started to roll, and they kind of both rolled to the turf. And so I don't know if something got caught or something along that line.
I want to thank the broadcast sponsor for tonight's game, Texas Farm Bureau, and also the game sponsor tonight, Carpet Tech, as it has been a good game. I mean, and right now, Bryce, you know, WT, you're frustrated. You had 13-0 lead, and you're watching Mines, you know, get back in the game and take the lead, and then now go up by 8 and kind of control the second half. But to stay positive, this is the number 5 team in the country.
Yes,
they are very good. They have shown that, and
they're everything that Hunter said they would be coming into the facility tonight, and so they Yeah, it took them a while to get going, to make the adjustments that they needed, but they, as a good team will do, made the adjustments. The other thing I thought about, too, a little bit here is Russ Martin's calling the offense for the Buffaloes. And, again, he, for a long time, was in the RMAC with these guys. And so he knows, again, they're familiar with what the offense is that he's running to run, and he's familiar with what the defense they want to do as well.
And good to see Xavier Rivera walk off as the training staff does a good job. Luke Casper comes out and they check on Big 74. It will be 2nd down and 8 when Mines comes back onto the field.
So as they come
Number
out.
92 of the School of Mines is changing his number from 92 to 62 due to a ripped jersey.
That's a good explanation there. A ripped jersey. So we went from 92 to 62.
All right.
It's like the you're at the concert and they have the wardrobe change, right?
Exactly. It's a good thing that somebody gave up their jersey. They're standing over there with his shoulder pads on. You're not playing tonight, so
in today's game too, Bryce, the jerseys are so tight that actually takes a while. You can't just slip it off.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly right.
Got to have 2 guys help you.
So obviously clock's running, so they're going to let the play clock run down as far as they can.
Zeman will run it right up the middle, and he is taken down right at the marker. Looks like it could be a first down here for the Orediggers.
And again, that time, he just kind of lowers his head and finds that extra jet. In fact, they're going to go ahead and give him the first down.
And it's this push up front. I mean, the offensive line, Zeman's not touched till he's 4 or 5 yards down the field. So give credit to Zach Heckman and Blake Ray, Armendariz, the center, Justin Wood, and Nick Vandegraff.
And again, as I look at the schedule for the Orediggers, I mean, they're going to have some good competitive games when they play Chadron State, Pueblo, obviously. Western Colorado's better. And so it's going to be an interesting RMAC run for them this year.
Zeman tries the far side of the field, and Eric Collins is able to track him down, but not before good yardage is gained. It's probably safe to say right now, Bryce, that for WT, they have to stop Mines right now, or this game is over.
Yeah, they do. And again, this is when do you use your timeout? Most likely after this play is when the Buffs will use a timeout to stop the clock. But again, the Orediggers are going to let it run down as much as they possibly can. 2:53 left to play as the clock continues to run.
If you're the Buffs, you know most likely they're running. You just don't know if it's number 10 or number 40. It's the quarterback this time. Michael Smith and then JT Cavender come up to take down Matoka, and there's that timeout that you were calling for, taken by Coach Hughes. And so he knows this is it. It's going to come down to most likely this third down and
West
4
Texas A&M.
for West
Their
Texas
first time
A&M.
out of the half.
We'll take a quick
30
timeout. Come back
second
with this
timeout.
big third down play. Buffs trail by 8. We're back with more football after these messages.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Buffalo Stadium, 21-13. The number 5 Orediggers in front of the Buffaloes as they have owned the second half. Buffalo jumped out to a 13-0 lead in this ball game. And Coach Hughes talked about at halftime they liked the field goals, but they wish they would have scored touchdowns. And this is the reason why, because they trail by 8 points at this point. Third down and about 4 for the Orediggers to get a first down.
Matoka hands it off. Zeman is stopped. And so the Buff defense does what they had to do. And that's Satchel Escalante that pops up off the bottom of the pile there. It's fourth down.
West Texas A&M.
It's interesting, too,
Their second
because
timeout of the half.
30-second
safeties timeout.
He engaged that will come up and play really a linebacker, and in all honesty, really a defensive lineman, because they come up to the line and they are there holding a territory to make a stop.
This is interesting. We'll keep it here, Bryson. At halftime, the Buffs offensively had run 26 plays, a total of 193 on the yardage. Mines had run 11 more plays, but they had only 149 yards. Now you look at the stats, and the Buffs total yardage 295, just barely over 100 yards in the second half. Colorado School of Mines, though, 332 yards, and we've talked about it a lot, but that time of possession is starting to hurt.
Well, the time of possession is what's killing the Buffaloes, and then obviously the ground game, as they had 57 yards in that first half. They got 216 right now in the ball game, and so the running game has come on well for them.
Tobias Harris, he's returned a couple of punts for touchdowns in his career. Again, they angle it to the side, and it goes right into the hands of Harris, but he slipped and fell down right at the 35-yard line. So the Buffs are going to only have 2 minutes and 19 seconds. And if you're the Orediggers defensively, you think they'll be dialing up some pressure?
Yeah, they definitely will. They have kind of thrived on that in the second half. That's what's stymied the Buffalo offense tonight, because again, they have 3 down linemen, but then they'll walk up 3 linebackers. And so they'll have 6 guys that are be out the line of scrimmage. And so you're not sure who to block in essence. I mean, you get the calls made to you, but still they walk up that extra guy, and that's what makes a difference.
4 receivers in the formation. 4-man rush from Mines. Gerber is going to throw on the run, and coming back to make a fantastic catch was Noah Bogardus.
Yeah, nice job that time. Nick had a lot of real estate. He could have took off and ran, but he saw Noah coming back to him, so he fed him the football, and he picks up a first down. In Mines territory at the 45-yard line.
Okay, 1st and 10. Gerber rolling left, hard throw, and a smart decision.
Yeah, and the fans would know why there wasn't a roughing the passer, because Gerber had let it go and still got hit.
And it's not just he got hit, it kind of, not intentionally, I don't think, but he kind of goes low.
And so,
but it's 2nd down and 10. Gerber had no time and rolling the wrong way.
Yeah, you just can't get can't get anything on the pass, no mustard, no anything. And so, again, that's why he just threw it out of bounds. And they're giving a lot of space on Hunter Kaufman. They're going to double him up, too.
Gerber in trouble, taken down. Big sack for Mines. His shooting through was number 46, Nolan Reeve. They brought a ton of pressure. Gerber could not escape that time.
Yeah, he wanted to come out to the near side. He saw the pocket breaking up, but he just couldn't. And now he's got to wait for everybody to get back as the clock continues to run.
It is. It's running down to 1.5 minutes, and the Buffs have to hurry. But they got to make sure they get the right play, because it's 3rd and 17. 8-point lead for Mines. Pressure coming from the outside. Gerber going to run to the right. Throws it again to Bogardus. And did he make the catch? The side judge races in. Mines was signaling that it was incomplete, but
is he marking it? No, he's saying it is.
He is saying incomplete.
Oh,
I never saw a signal from the official down there.
And the way he came racing in there, he marked the spot. And so
that ball had to have popped out with the reaction, obviously, of the Orediggers sideline. And it's a timeout. Let's look at it one more time here.
West Texas A&M, their 3rd and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Looks like it's caught, but he may have caught it out of bounds. He didn't get any feet in as they kind of took him out of bounds.
Okay. All right, timeout. And after this, it's 4th and 17. Buffs on their last gasp here. And we're back after this timeout.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, it comes down to this play right here, a 4th down for the Buffaloes, and they've got to get to the Orediggers 35-yard line. And this was pushed back into Buffalo territory at the 48. So 17 yards they've got to make up here on this 4th down play.
You got to make sure you give Gerber time to throw. In trouble, throws it. Compton makes the catch, short of the 1st down. Maybe the game clinching tackle out there on the far side by Jaden Williams, number 32. Compton, we know, not easy to take down, and he fell about 4 yards short of that 1st down marker.
It was a play they ran earlier in the first half, and so again, Nick rolls to his right, and he has Compton in stride, but a great open field tackle, and that was the difference for the Orediggers as they will come away and salt this one away. As Buffaloes have no timeouts left, all they have to do is take a couple of snaps and run out the clock.
And a strong performance, no doubt, by the number 5 ranked team, as Matoka will take the knee. And for the Buffaloes, this is one they're going to be frustrated, obviously, about. With, you get up 13-0 and you have all the momentum, and you feel like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to beat the number 5 team country at home with 7,000 plus fans here. Didn't happen.
So a couple of things that came into play. Obviously, we didn't get a good opening drive in the second half. That hurt. And then the other thing that happened that was the fumble by Blair that set them up in great field position after their first touchdown, gave them a short field and allowed them to get in and have the go-ahead touchdown.
So this one going to feel good for the Orediggers. As we said it, they were going to face their first test of the season. The Buffs definitely did that, gave them a challenge, but Colorado School of Mines was up to that challenge and came back strong in the second half, as they're going to win this one 21-13. Mines will stay undefeated. They're going to go to 4-0, and this is the 3rd straight season for Colorado School of Mines that they have started the year 4-0.
Well, the last one in 2019, they went 12-0, and their first loss was in the playoffs. And so, again, they're trying to equal that record if they possibly can. But, again, a good start, and a good game for them tonight. And I think a good game for the Buffaloes, too. And they've learned quite a bit tonight about their team as well in this one. And obviously, they can stay with the number 5 team in the state, or in the country, excuse me. But from that standpoint, too, there's some things they've got to clean up that they need to do offensively as well.
All right, we will take a timeout. When we come back, we'll start the post-game show. Final score tonight from J. Ferg Field at Buffalo Stadium. Colorado School of Mines wins this one 21-13, scoring 21 unanswered points, all in the second half. We're back after this.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology.
Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. The final score tonight, Colorado School of Mines wins 21-13. They dug themselves a hole, but they showed, heart of a champion, if you will. I mean, the resolve that whatever we said happened in the locker room at halftime with Greg Brandon, it worked. They started executing their game in the second half. They scored 21 points all in the second half and win it 21-13.
And I wonder if that was the speech in the locker room at the halftime, was basically, hey, we're fine. We're down 13-0. Our defense has started to step up a little bit. So now we just got to get our offense in sync, and they did do that in the second half. And that made a big difference. Time of possession, 35 minutes to Colorado School of Mines to 21 for the Buffaloes. And, again, that's where they're right at on a national average, one of the top teams in time of possession.
You start looking at some of the stats initially, 205 rushing yards for Colorado School of Mines. Passing yards, they didn't have to throw it a lot, honestly, because they were getting such big chunk plays on first and second down. They were moving the sticks. They ended up with 22 first downs. The Buffs just had 13. And remember, at half, WT had 8 first downs, so only 5 in the second half.
Yeah, they really did. And so, again, 22 for Colorado School of Mines. They had 10 in that first half. And so, again, their offense found its identity, and they were able to do what they wanted to do, which is, as we talked about, those long scoring drives, 10, 11, 12-play drives that chew up the clock, keep the defense out there a long time, and really our defense was really gassed.
You know, one of the keys that we talked about in pregame was the Buffs could not make mistakes. I mean, they had to play almost a nearly flawlessly clean game, and they were doing that in the first half. They didn't have any turnovers in the first half. They ended up with 2 big turnovers in the second half, one a fumble and then late an interception when they were driving.
Yep.
Penalties, maybe a few that hurt them in that second half.
The 2 turnovers are the things that stand out in this one. They changed the momentum. Of course, the first one, the fumble, as Blair was, and really a nice tackle, nice hit, knocked the ball free. After they scored and got a touchdown to cut the lead to 13-7, the ensuing kickoff, the Buffaloes get it, and then they take it on their drive. And the first play, they give it to Blair, and he tries to go off the right side, but got his legs taken out from under him. As he's fallen, the ball is popped free. And so they have a short field. They're able to take it in to take the go-ahead touchdown. And then, as you said, on that nice drive the Buffs had, they needed, and then they throw an interception.
Defensively, Bryce, one thing that stands out, we talked about it a lot during the broadcast, is that they were on the field a lot, especially in the second half. But the defense came up with some big stops in that fourth quarter, giving the offense the football back. They just couldn't convert.
Yeah, that's the one thing they did do. As tired as they were, and I'm looking at statistically, Cole Oster leading the way with 14 tackles for J.T. Cavender. He got banged up a little bit. So Satchel Escalante and Gage Smith. Now, usually when you have your defensive backs leading in tackles, you're thinking it's a blowout ball game. But really what it was, they walked those guys up, and they were playing a defensive line position. They were the safety gauge in case the quarterback would come around them, and they were there to make the stop. And so that's what they were there for. That's why they're up in tackles in the ball game tonight.
For the Buffs, Khalil Harris was the leading rusher. He ended up with 82 yards rushing on 15 carries, a 5.5 yard average there. And so some good things that will come out of this one, but kind of a sour taste in the mouth for probably Hunter Hughes and for the Buffaloes, because they felt like they had this thing. They had to keep scoring.
It'll be interesting when Hunter comes in, the fact that at halftime he said, I wish we would have scored touchdowns instead of field goals. You always want points, and so you always want to put points on the board. But what he was talking about then, he knew that this team, well-disciplined, well-coached, and that they would find that offensive groove, which they did in the second half.
All right, we'll step aside, take another timeout, come back and continue the post-game show, and we'll have a chat with Hunter Hughes. Buffaloes fall in this one tonight, losing 21-13 to Colorado School of Mines. We're back with more after this.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition? That we work for you, a dedicated team member who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo Stadium as Jay Ferg Field as the Buffaloes fall tonight 21-13 to number 5 ranked Colorado School of Mines, the Orediggers tonight. As we look at our highlights from the first half in this one tonight. And here, well, actually, here's a touchdown for the Orediggers as they got that one late. That was McKay taking it in on a 4-yard rush. And so that's where they got their first score of the ball game. And then here's Brandon Blair where he fumbles the football in the second half. And again, just a nice open field tackle. And that guy Brewster, that's the one that caused so many problems for the Buffaloes. He even recovers the fumble. And so able to take that off. And then it's the quarterback taking it in to go for the go-ahead touchdown. And so that was a nice short field drive for the Orediggers, and they're able to take advantage. That's their first lead of the ball game, and they go up 14-13. Then here late in the fourth quarter, again, they kind of lulled the Buffs to sleep.
And that was after they picked up a big third down conversion.
They did get a third down conversion, and that was Josh Johnson that they were able to get as he just kind of opened up. And here's the interception again. Nick Gerber back to pass, and Kent stepped through. Can't complete the throw. It's tipped up in the air, and there's
wild
Brewster
play
again. Yeah, really wild one on that one. And Brewster, as the Buffaloes deep in coverage that time, McGardis tried to get a fingertip on it, but he couldn't knock it down. He tipped it up, and they were able to take advantage of it. Then the Buffs again on a late drive as they get this one, trying to get that on. This is the fourth down. They were trying to get the first down, got it up to Jared Compton, but he was 3 yards short. And that's how the ball game ended in tonight's contest here at Buffalo Stadium. And again, credit the Buffaloes as they come away on the short end tonight to the number 5 team in the country, 21-13. And it was one of those tonight that the Buffs looked great in the first half. They came out on fire in this one. The defense looked fantastic, and even in the first half, they really played well. But it was fatigue that came into play tonight for the defense. The offense wasn't out there long enough to make things happen. And credit the Orediggers defense for that, because they caused the issues for the offense tonight, and they just couldn't find a rhythm after really, midway through the first half.
It brought a lot of pressure throughout the ball game, and you know the good teams, the really good teams, they find ways to come up with big turnovers. And we talked about that, how big of a story that was in the second half. Individually, as we look for both sides, two players that stand out for Colorado School of Mines, no surprise, is the quarterback and the running back. Start with John Matoka, 15 of 22, 116 passing yards, a touchdown and an interception. That doesn't, you know, it's not eye-popping numbers. But then you look at what he did running the football. He was able to gain 70 yards, get himself a running touchdown, and just keeping plays alive. I came away pretty impressed with the quarterback.
Yeah, he is what makes their offense go. And again, calm and cool, collected. He really doesn't get rattled, and so he stays within their system, and so that's what makes a big difference for him. And he obviously is comfortable with what they're doing right now on the field. Again, they run with a heavy package, and by that it just means they bring an extra lineman out there, so he's got plenty of blockers. He's not that big of a guy, 5'11", 180, but they've got that extra blocker out there for him, and so that allows him to kind of survey, and if he needs to take off, he can take off over around an end one way or the other.
So then the running back, 29 carries, 133 on the ground, a touchdown. Didn't get the touchdown. They gave the touchdown the one time down the goal line. He was gassed, and he had to go out.
Yeah.
And so they had to bring in Nathan Mackey.
Yeah.
But for Michael Zeman, only one play, only 1 yard lost out of 29 carries. That's impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And so, and again, he's that kind of a bowling ball type of guy that he just kind of rolls up on the line and just keeps rolling. And so that's why they can't push him back. That's why he only lost 1 yard, basically. And so he does a nice job of continuing to move the pile forward, continuing to move toward their goal line, and that's what keeps those drives. That's why they're so productive in fourth down conversions. And tonight's ball game, they were fantastic in third down conversions. They were 8 of 16. They were 1 of 1 in fourth down tonight. So for the year, that makes them 10 of 11 in fourth down conversions.
Buffs lose this one tonight by the score of 21-13. For WT offensively, Nick Gerber finishes 12 of 23, 186 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His 1 touchdown was the first offensive play of the ball game, a 50-yard strike to the receiver, Hunter Kaufman. Noah Bogarda, 7 catches, 42 yards. And so offensively, strong start, just couldn't finish it like they would like to, but there's a lot to learn from, a lot to build on.
And I think that's what we're working on at practice this week is to get ready. We got to go finish. And so that's the thing. Your offense needs to stay out there and continue drives, give your defense some time on the sideline. And you can't keep them out there for 35 minutes in a ball game. That's why they were so tired, really, as this progressed. And again, credit to Mines. They really have a nice offensive scheme. But I think that's one of the things they'll work on this week in practice is finishing drives. That's going to be a big key.
It was certainly tonight, both offense and defense. Defense was very impressive second half for Colorado School of Mines. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll visit with head coach Hunter Hughes. Buffs fall 21-13 tonight at home in a valiant effort, and we'll come back with more on the postgame after this.
A smile is understood in any language.
Yeah,
it represents joy, love, and shows you care. At Full Smile Dental, our mission is to build lifelong relationships one smile at a time by providing accessible, compassionate, quality care with the personal touch of friendship. Come see us at Full Smile Dental, located in Canyon, Amarillo, Dumas, and Dalhart, and ask us about our free Whitening for Life program.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. The Buffs fall tonight 21-13 to the number 5 team in the country. Head coach Hunter Hughes joins us on the postgame show. And, Coach, I guess from the get-go, the team came out ready to play. Defensively, offensively, looked good at the very beginning tonight.
Yeah, I think they were excited to play here at home and play a team of that caliber. And I thought that was a good spark for us. Get a 3-and-out and hit a long touchdown and got a little momentum going, and couldn't sustain it, because then we ended up kicking field goals, and you play a team like that, you can't win kicking field goals. So I was hoping that wouldn't come back to haunt us, but it turned out to. So,
what did they do basically at the end of the first half and going into the second half defensively? What did they change? Because it looked like they were starting to rush a little bit more to put pressure up front.
Yeah, without looking at the film, I'd say it looked like they were trying to bring some little more heat. Guys in the middle. And we were trying to pull guys and stuff. And, in the third quarter, we gave it. I mean, we handed them a lot of opportunities. And if you do that to a good team, you're in trouble. We penalties. We had a holding penalty that stopped the drive. We fourth and a yard, and we can't get a yard. I mean, that's something that I've been frustrated with. We got to have. And the Jordan Johnson was hurt, but we got to be able to get a yard.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're playing. You got to be able to get a yard. And everybody can bitch about the spot, but, it shouldn't rely on the spot.
Right.
I mean, that's where I'm at. And so they get some momentum on that, and, I'll probably lose sleep over, if I ever did sleep, over that decision to go for it. But I think that you're playing that type of team, you got to go for it in those situations. And you're playing to win the game, and that's what you do. And then get the kickoff, and it's kicked out of bounds. We get the ball at the 35-yard line, but then we get a stupid penalty on the sideline. It backs us up to the 20, and then we fumble the first play. So momentum started shifting, and they had it, and I think we just never got it back. And then as the momentum got going, their offensive line is very physical, as you could see, and they just started pounding it, and they had more confidence in what they were doing. Now they could go back to their game because the momentum swung in their favor and the lead changed. And I thought we were getting really good pressure on them in the passing game, and they stayed out of their 4 wide receiver look most of the second half when it all started changing. So, that's the bottom line is, we don't make the 4th and 1. We turn the ball over right after that, and we had to kick field goals to score touchdowns.
Hunter, your defense, wanted to talk about their effort because time of possession is big in favor of Mines, obviously 35-26 to 21-45. But I thought the defense, they were out there a long time, and they were playing hard all the way through, gave the offense an opportunity a couple times late.
Yeah, in the third quarter we started to get a little tired, and that's what they do. I mean, their game, Mines used to be a let's throw it all over the yard type, but now they are a physical, punishing team. They're not flashy. They just run the ball right at you, and that's how they get that time of possession. And we got tired and missed some tackles and extended drives for them. And but my hats off to them. They down 13-0. We told our team at halftime that team has been in these situations. They're going to come out ready to play second half, and I thought we were too. And just momentum just started. We moved down the field, get a couple first downs, and then don't get the 4th and 1.
Yep.
And then, like I said, we're still in the game. We're still fighting, and turn the ball over right away. So,
what do you look at when you get ready to go into practice this week? And I know it's real early after a ball game like this, but what are some of the things that you kind of want to improve on as you get ready to go on the road once again?
Just finishing. You got to finish drives. You got to finish things. You can't kick field goals. You got to score touchdowns. I mean, I like Gage Urice a lot. He's improved a whole lot, done really well, but my God, if we keep relying on him, then our defense is going to have a lot of pressure on them. I think our defense has gotten a lot better. I think we've had some adversity tonight before the game started. We lost a guy in warm-ups and lost a guy in the third quarter for a little bit. And kind of when they started getting a little momentum and, played a guy in a different position and got some situations where we had to scream and make sure he knew what he was doing. So it's limited what we could do. But that's not an excuse. All credit goes to Mines for getting that momentum and coming out in the second half and playing the way they played.
There's a good effort tonight by the Buffaloes. They fall 21-13 to Colorado School of Mines, and next week they'll be on the road taking on Western Oregon. We'll take one final timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Buffalo Stadium. Back after this.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs! This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular Team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo Stadium. Buffs lose tonight, 21-13. They fall to 2-2 on the season, while Colorado School of Mines improved to 4-0, number 5 in the country. And so for the Buffaloes, it's on the road to Western Oregon next week before they come back here again for homecoming.
That's right. I want to thank our outstanding production crew tonight, the Thunder Vision crew, your camera operators tonight, Peyton Stokes, Nicole Williams, Emma McReynolds, also Zach Kamenkow, and Jacob Johnson, the very talented Jacob Johnson. Replay operator tonight was Jacob Griffin, and director up here with us tonight was Jamie Abbott, with a little assistance from our friend Chris Jaquith as well. So we appreciate all of our Thunder Vision crew doing a great job. It was a busy weekend here for West Texas A&M Athletics, but a lot of fun here for WT. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau.